Yes, yes, it's that time again. It's the 4 o'clock shadow. And we'll do it live and in color.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang. Wherever there's a hand, you'll find a Spider-Man.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I love that. Love that. Jimmy. Hey, Black Hat. Shadowhawk says, just got home. I'll be in by 4:30. Gonna be tardy again. Gonna clean up after work. And Kate from Orlando, I'm ignoring her completely for that last comment. No, you can't ever ignore Kate, but good thing she's over there in Florida at a distance where I couldn't get my hands on her. What do you mean, hey? Oh, you're saying hey to her. Okay. After that comment, come on now. Mayonnaise. Come on now. Yeah, Jimmy's at the doctor's. I'm holding out hope that he'll come in later. He says he can't make it, but we go long enough that maybe he'll pop in towards the end. And then of course we can always extend. I'm not working tonight again. But that's okay. Longer weekend, right? Longer weekend. Headed home, he says. Well, that's good. I said, well, we go over 2 hours if you get back and you feel like chiming in. And he says, headed home. So that's good. I just got it headed, you know. He had said earlier that his doctor appointment was at 2 and that he should be home by 3:45. And I think he was saying, well, I'm not going to make it still at the doctor's by 4. Well, that's okay on the 4 o'clock shadow. We have a little leeway, here, for co-hosts that show up and need to be cleaned up. Not that he ever comes on screen. Yeah, we see his knees. We don't even know if Shadowhawk is real, but I can assure you he is real. Definitely. This is Jimmy Reyes art over on. This is not what I wanted to pull up, but this is Jimmy Reyes art over on Twitter. All the links are down in the description for Jimmy. I was not subscribed to Jimmy over on Instagram, surprisingly, but I am now, thanks to this setup. Setting all this up is, I just got it set up and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to make it. I'm like, no, I won't accept that. So if you're listening, Jimmy, I'm after you. I will not accept that. I just got this set up. But Dragon Rage is for a very short time. He's talking about middle of the month, of the 15th. It's already the 6th, so less than 2 weeks. It's in demand now. $33,170, 549 backers. Full color 40-page high fantasy comic, Dragon Rage, in demand right now on Indiegogo. Let's watch the trailer real quick. He was nice enough to switch that for us yesterday, back to the original.
Dragali, the true dragon masters. Humans with a rare ability to capture the rage of the dragons, wielding their powers as their own.
Yeah, it's choppy, but it's not choppy as it is. Gotta love it. Or not. Blah ha 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 ha. Yeah, it has gravitas to it, you know, the music. Kind of like Jaws. Bum, 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 right? Anyway, tomorrow we'll have on Skunk Artworks and Odin Drasco talking about their campaign, which should be unlike any other campaign. Let me bring this back up. There we go. Dragon Raids: The Crown of Fire, book number one, is a full color fantasy comic series spanning 40 pages. Now, he says number one here, but I've seen number three. He has done some previous. I've only got one earbud in. Wow. I can only hear half as good. Not that anyone's speaking and I need to hear anything. But he has done some work previously on Dragon Rage. This is actually an older property for Jimmy, and we get him on. We'll have him talk about it. He's the featured tier is Give Me Everything plus $180. That's really reasonable. That's going to be in the box, I believe. When you support the Give Me Everything, there you go, tier, you will receive your rewards in a unique collector's mailer box. Hurry up, supplies are running low. Jimmy Reyes' cover A right here. I should say Dragon Raids: The Crown of Fire. I think that's what that says, isn't it? When you go with the stylized lettering, sometimes it's, Eric Weathers on the, David Finch sketch cover, in the Raw, exclusive Raw Finch perk cover. It's only available to those who have selected the Everything Plus perk. Yeah. I mean, 38 of the Give Me Everything claimed. Some people wanting that Finch cover. 191 of Jimmy's cover. That speaks well of his artwork, right? Cover B is also Jimmy Reyes cover. And it's coming up right here. That looks wicked as well. No aspersions. Mayonnaise, mayo, gobs of mayo, BLT. Sure, you say that now, but after I take your wrench away, Eric, then what will you say? Gable Penny Shot in the house saying, evening all. Carrie in the house. Hello, Carrie. Hell, Kate, have missed you in the chat, she says. Why, indeed. Yeah, there's my hell gents. Hell gents. Don't care. Eric, I would never do that to you. Well, and then we have the Jimmy Reyes wraparound cover, because you can't say, I mean, he's done 3 covers for the campaign. So, you know, David Finch Fire cover, which is this one here. So there is a David Finch cover on the campaign that you can get. 76 of those have been claimed. Of course they have. But only 38 of the raw, which the raw is really nice. I mean, you've got to admit that's really nice work right there. And I think there should be more pencil covers in comics. Of course, you can get all 4 wraparound, not the Finch one here, because you can get this Finch here, which is nice too. I have to ask Jimmy if he colored it. I think he did. I'm not sure. I mean, well, no, I don't think he colored it because he just started with his colors on a piece he was working on the other night on Topicless. At the time of checkout, you can choose to include a hidden cover as an additional purchase. Dang. And I guess that's by Jimmy too. So he's knocking it out of the park here with at least 4 covers on the campaign. Maybe he's got a lot of idle time. Preview of interior art. Final art will be in full color. Well, we kind of like the black and white too, for sure. Okay, the wraparound cover is the end. So nice, short, simple, sweet. You know, he's offering the book. Oh man, a lot of good art here. I'm not even seeing any stretch goals or what, but colorist is Andrew Dollhouse. Okay, download free Dragon Rage wallpaper and enhance your desktop background. And there's the link for that at the bottom. Tells you about the story down here, and you can read more there at dragonrage.com. The oldest stories tell of men who shared an unnatural bond with the dragons. They were called the Dragon. I'm not even going to try and say that. I'll wait till Jimmy gets here. And they are Shadowhawk, where he can read this. I wanted him to read this in his melodious voice. You know what? I think I'll just wait and show you some artwork here. And that's some nice stuff. I like just pencils. I don't think anybody in CG has just done all pencils, have they? An all pencil project. I'd buy that. And you know, when the black and whites are this good, you could do just all black and white, right? But you got a wraparound cover, you know, a pencil cover. If you do the everything plus, you like Jimmy's artwork, you say, not, you know, I like Jimmy, but I like that David Finch cover. There you go. I mean, you know, 2 David Finch covers. Hello. All right, let me leave this down here. The very nice stuff, though, Jimmy. Very nice. We'll get back to that. Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm running late today. Well, you got to scrub clean, you know. Hey, Smoking Wraith. Yeehaw. Yeah, we say that in Arkansas, don't we? That's what I want, Rex. Yeah, all pencil work. Like I say, it has to be dark enough to reproduce. I've never tried an all pencil comic, but you know, Momentum will produce something like that. Hey, I'll save on inker, right? If you tell the story in all in pictures, which I tend to do anyway. You know, if you make it simplistic enough, you could tell the whole story and not even need a letterer. See, save on money. I mean, there's ways to do comics. You know, you do it well enough. You gotta know, you know. Welcome to the show, Mr. Jimmy Reyes. Oh no, it's Shadowhawk.
How's it going, Rex?
I have to tease the chat like that.
I didn't know if you knew it was me or not. So what were you doing? Were you reading through the campaign?
Yeah, the campaign a little bit, and Jimmy he's probably going to join us. A little, he says he's on his way home, so yeah, he'll
Oh,
probably
cool.
join us. I said if you want to chime in, we run a couple hours late. He didn't know how things work around here, so hopefully
Well,
we
yeah. We
can
usually
do.
run a couple
Hey,
hours
for
anyway.
Jimmy, if we need to go 3 to 6 hours, we will.
Hey, whatever you need.
Yeah, that's right. We're here to serve,
We
right?
we live to serve. That's
Yeah.
right.
Are
Hail,
you getting
Gable, Kate, and Orlando, smoking Reyes. What's going on, folks? Hello, hello.
are you getting my memos, by the way? I mean, you're supposed to make the host look good, and yet every day.
Your memos? What memos?
I'm just messing with
Wait a minute. I've been
you.
missing
Oh,
out here, right?
Jonas in the house. Where
Hail,
is
Jonas.
yeah?
Sorry, I didn't see you there. Who else is in here? Oh, Eric's here too. Hi, Eric. Sorry I missed you, buddy.
Yeah, we got
Hail,
Eric,
Eric.
we've got Smoking Wraith, Kate, Gable, Penny Shot,
All right,
Jonas,
I'm gonna wait for Timothy to show up again because
Carrie,
I
Black Hat.
got something from Timmy today.
Oh, well, who says Timothy will show up? Even though his
Well,
link is
sooner
down
or
in the
later,
description.
he'll show up.
Yeah, he's got something snarky to say. So you got pretty filthy at work
Oi,
today,
Carrie.
huh?
Oh,
Oi,
dude, I
oi,
was
Savaloy.
soaked in fucking hydraulic fluid and then covered in grease
That
up
can't
to like
be good.
past my elbows, man. Oh yeah.
Now I know you're
My
old
pants.
school. You go back to the 70s. You probably got a big chunk of lava soap to take off the hide.
No, I use a
Goop.
Fast Orange. It's like a hand cleaner stuff with pumice and whatever.
Yeah,
But they have a
hummus,
cherry.
yeah.
They got a cherry scented one that I like better than the orange.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I use that.
That's still pretty rough stuff on your skin.
Oh yeah, my skin's used to it by now.
Yeah, well, you're just a dried out piece of leather by now, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm an old crusty. My hands look like a fucking hawk's fucking talons, dude. That's
calluses. He's a working man. Where's Timmy?
But yeah, dude. First thing this morning, I had to go in and tear out this freaking pump, and the hole underneath of this machine just had a puddle of fucking hydraulic fluid underneath it, probably an inch deep, man.
Whoa!
And it just I put down a bunch of absorbent pads and stuff so I could have some place to kneel down, do what I had to do without getting full of crap. And they soaked through so quick, dude, that the whole leg of my pants got soaked through before I even realized it. Because I was, had my head inside the machine. I'm not, feeling my leg until it starts getting wet. I'm like, shit. And so I walked around all day with my right leg just soaked in hydraulic fluid, which is not good. Doesn't feel real great either. It starts to aggravate you after a while.
Right.
And then right after lunch, one of the girls come and got me. She's like, "Oh, my machine." I get up underneath that thing, and it's just chains off of it, and the gears are all out of alignment. I don't know what happened. Something got slid on the shelf somehow, on the shaft. The gear moved over, and oh, dude! By the time I got done with that, I was covered up to the elbows in just black grease, like a coating of it, dude.
How do you get that out of your clothes? Lighter fluid to match.
A little bit of Dawn dishwashing liquid in the wash. Gets rid of a lot of. Yeah, it gets rid of a lot of the grease and the oil, and then you gotta just wash them again with detergent. That'll take care of the rest.
That you're lying. He had an accident. You had an accident.
Cage, you're so mean to me. And guess what else, Rex? I guess I have to do an actual unlive boxing today because you were right, my friend. Guess what came in today?
Oh gosh, I think Melvin.
What were we talking? Yes, but what were we talking about yesterday? I think it was after the show we might have been, or it might have been before the show. I don't remember. Oh, no, we were talking about it with,
Ryan?
maybe it was Apex and Ryan on Saturday. We were talking about supposed to be coming out for Halloween. I was questioning whether or not it was going to be later since they extended it.
Gorgo.
Yes, Titanic Creations.
You got
was
it early. I told you. I thought I saw something.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that update, and they said they're extending the campaign to November 30th. You know,
Yeah,
I forget how many more toys they're doing. But,
they got it. They got it. I mean, you know, they were shooting for. Now that was the cutoff of the pre-orders, and now they've extended it to. But I checked it yesterday, and there was only 2 left. I mean, very popular.
They think you're going like hotcakes, dude.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a. Have you? Are we going to unbox it? We're going to see it?
Yeah. Yes.
We waited most of the year.
I'm cutting the tape as we speak. I'm surprised you can't hear it. All right. Ta-da. Ooh. Oh, well, that's pretty cool right off the get. Look at this.
We can't look at it. You got your
I know. Hold on. I got to get the light on it.
I missed your old icon, by the way.
What? What's going on? Am I white nipple again?
No. I said I missed because, you know, you've been going to that secondary one, but I missed this one.
Yeah. Oh, well.
That's your daughter designed, you know?
Yeah. I prefer this one, but
yeah,
that's my angry hawk. When I'm having streaming problems, that's my angry icon.
Well, now, I do you would have to have batteries to light up the eyes, right?
I imagine, yes. I will have to find out, you know, what kind of batteries it takes. But we'll find out together here, right?
Well, I hope you've got triple A's or double A's, or a C or a D, whatever it takes.
I know I've got double A's and triple A's. I think
now the one thing that I would be looking for is did you get the baby Gorgo? That's what I would be looking for.
I know. That's what I like to see. All right, here we go, people. So I open up the end of the box and this is what I see. Pretty nice.
Pretty.
Titanic Creations. Gorgo.
Is that on clear plastic?
Yes, it looks like it is.
See-through box?
Yeah,
wow.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, give me a moment, you guys. I'm going to pull this baby out, and we can all look at her together.
Ooh, somebody clip that. I told you he was out to get the panel struck.
A little nudity claim. Oh my lord, this is cool. Oh man, this bite is not great. Okay, hold on. I have a fix here. Lamb. All right, that's better. Give him a little backlight. I don't know. I'm gonna have to pull him out of the box so you guys can see him better. But we'll look at him in the packaging first. Oh, look at that, dude. They got like 3D effect smoke on the. And then look at. There's little baby Gorgo.
Little baby. Wow.
There he is.
He's minuscule. Put your finger up.
Yeah,
your pinky.
Oh, hold on. Here, I'll put it behind.
Not the camera.
Oh, you can't.
I just wanted something for scale.
Oh, well, man, my fingers, like 6 of them. I don't know, 5 of them. No, maybe 3.5, 4.
He looks smaller than I thought he would be.
There's a little diving bell. It's pretty dinky too. And then we got an extra Gorgo head. And there's Mama or Daddy Gorgo.
An extra head? You have an extra head?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, there's an extra Gorgo head there. I didn't realize I was getting one. Oh wait, here. You can kind of see him from there. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that one looks like the jaw might open and close on it. Ooh, maybe. I think it does. And then, uh-oh. One of my little airplane slots is empty. I'm supposed to have 3 little airplanes.
Oh, error, rare error.
Oh, no.
That sucks. You know, you
It might
you
have
could
just,
probably write
it
them and
may have just
say,
popped out of the little thing.
oh,
I don't know
maybe
how
it
it could
has
pop
popped
out,
out.
though. It's
Maybe it's
clamshelled, though. I don't know how that little guy could have popped out of there. Well, we'll find out. We'll open. Oh, wait a minute.
they
I
make
thought I
this
saw
look
something.
so big though, Shadowhawk. I've got to say,
I know they did, didn't they?
yeah.
When I saw the box, I was like, wow, I don't, that box, are they sending more than one box? It
They
doesn't
put
look
the
big enough.
artwork on the back. Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting really bad
You think
glare,
you
though. Why
could
am I
run
getting
a
such
light?
bad glare?
You think you could run a light
There it is.
behind that and it kind of light up because it's printed on clear plastic?
Yeah.
Cool.
Matter of fact, you can.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, dude. Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to figure out something to do with that display it somewhere. All right.
Kate
I'm going
says,
to
look at those filthy nails. I bet you never said that to Vic King.
Hey, I could have taken another 15 minutes to get here, people. You know, I was hurrying up. I was trying to be here for you, Kate, and this is how you treat me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are we done looking? Are you not going to take it out and look?
No, I'm taking him out.
Okay.
Give me a minute. You don't want to watch
find,
that anyway.
I hope you find your jet, your plane.
I hope so. Maybe he's down in here somewhere. I don't know. Oh, yep, just found him. Somehow or another, he slipped out of that clamshell. All right, that's crazy. Yeah. Oh, that is, dude. These things are dinky. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to keep very close track of these.
Well, now you know how they can make it for $100.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, when they said it was going to be 6 inches tall, but the way they had I mean, it must be the photography, right? Because
oh yeah, definitely,
it looks so freaking cool. All right, and what are these?
And it is cool. You know, it's a lot of detail. It's articulation.
Oh, there's like
26 points of articulation on it.
Oh, dude, there's little sticks that you can stick into the bottom of the plane, and then apparently, you know, like insert into whatever kind of background or whatever you're gonna make, or you can make a little so you can make it where the planes are flying around in your display.
Yeah, a little diorama, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool. All right, let me get the last plane back in his little spot.
You know, for what you paid for it, it's sort of like a Gorgo Marvel Legends type figure, right? I mean, it's about the size of my beast.
I mean,
yeah,
it's about Marvel Legends, you know. But I mean, he would. I don't know. You would think Gorgo would be more of a build-a-figure type, but so I mean, the scale is a little bit smaller than that, really. Because Marvel Legends Gorgo would probably be bigger.
Yeah.
But there's the 3 little jets. Well, they're not even jets, they're prop planes.
You think it was done on a 3D printer? Was all this done on a 3D printer?
Oh, I doubt it, dude. This looks like standard, like, toy, all the joints and stuff like that. I mean, that looks like, you know, made in China type toys. Ooh. Nice feel to it, though. It's kind of very nice tactile. It's like almost a softness to the vinyl.
Can you take the head off pretty good?
I haven't tried yet. Oh, look at.
Oh, wow! Yeah, jaw. There you go.
What's up? Hey, people. Oh, dude, he's a cool little guy, man. I'm glad he's not too. Oh, look at that. Ooh, can wiggle his tail. Oh.
Yeah. Gorgo versus Salamandroid confirmed.
Oh, they got our little baby one.
Yeah. Now that's just like a PVC figure, right? He doesn't move.
Yeah, no, no joints or anything on him. Hey, look at Big Ben, all gold and sassy.
Does it break away though? I bet it doesn't.
Yeah, it's got a little. Hold on, let me pop it out.
Well, I know it's got a painted on crack, but I wonder if it comes apart. Kate says, clip it, nice to the feel to it, nice feel to it. Exactly, Kate. You can get a lot clipped out of this conversation.
It's actually got a big molded crack in it. I don't know how well that's coming out for you.
But,
Can you see
but
that?
it's not going to break away. I was kind of wondering.
No, it's yeah. I don't think it's. I think underneath that little molded crack, it's solid under there.
This is pre. This is pre-Gorgo destruction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why it's got the big crack already.
Because he's in the process of destroying.
Oh. And then this one.
The jaw's hinged on that one.
Okay. Oh, whoops. Yep. Jaw's hinged on this one too.
Oh.
And
so what's the difference in heads?
I don't know. That's what I got to figure out. I'm trying to, because one of them's supposed to be light up too, and I don't see any kind of.
Oh, maybe one of them's light up, yeah, and the other's not. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't see any kind of battery type thing or port or anything.
Yeah.
On him. But I swear they said they reached the goal, right? The stretch goal for the light up.
Does it not come with the little instruction booklet or anything?
Nope. No instruction. Let me see. I'm gonna try to pop this head off. Hopefully things go smoothly. Hold on.
I'm sitting here eating.
Oh my God! I killed him.
Danish style butter cookies are artificially flavored. Cambridge and thyme.
Dude, I think I'm officially gonna complain to these people.
Did you break it?
No, but I don't think either one of these heads has light up eyes on it. They told me I was getting light up eyes.
Right, that was the last stretch go.
Yeah, no, on closer inspection, they're both just painted on.
But you know what? Delivered to your house on the 6th and not the 31st or after in November.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm still pretty pleased with it. I was hoping for a little more.
And you backed it late, remember?
Yeah, dude, I just barely got in on it. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Gorgo, how'd you?
You can thank me for that later.
Yes, I will. I may play with them and display them for a while, and then make a deal with you, Rex. I know you wanted some Gorgo action in your life.
No, bro. No.
Okay.
You need to display that thing. Be proud of it.
Oh, I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, kick his little leg up. A little foot in there. I think that's how.
It was definitely worth what you paid for it. If you saw that out in the store, you'd probably get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
how much?
Cool.
How much was the shipping on that? By the way, do you remember?
It wasn't that much. I think it was only like $18.95 or something. It was weirdly affordable.
Yeah,
but I guess it's not as bad in England to ship other places.
So with shipping, did it come from England?
Well, I have to double check the package. It came from Titanic Creations, wherever they're. Whoa.
Right. I'm not sure where they're located at.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Of course, Gorgo was a British film.
Oh, no, they're in Colorado. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Titanic Creations.
So, I mean, I think they're $129.99 right now. If you can get one, there was only 2 available yesterday. Over on Titanic Creations LLC, I think, .com.
I mean, they did a really nice job.
I'll give them the link, but I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, wow. You know, the clear box to protect it, they even shrink wrapped it like that cling film, you know, like they put on plexiglass sheets and stuff like that.
Right. Uh-huh.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, I'm going to have to find a way to light that up.
What I was going to say is with about $20 and for that, then you're spending about $150 as opposed to $120 what he paid.
Yeah.
On the pre-orders, which have been extended, but for some reason they probably ordered a smaller batch. I don't even know. I'm going to check real quick and see. It's kind of like it's kind of neat, you know, to talk about Gorgo on a day that we have Jimmy Reyes on, because it's all about dragons, right?
That's right. There you go. Jimmy. Oh,
yeah,
I thought you were transitioning and bringing them in.
All the others you can see, and we'll take a look at this real quick. Let me take this off. Bring this up. Somebody clip that. Kaiju Figures and Comics under Titanic Creations LLC. They do have a Gorgo plushie for $39.99.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I should have just got the plushie.
Yeah. The plushie is probably much bigger.
Oh, yeah.
But now you can get the other
$40.
You can get some of the figures for $44.99. There's one for $34.99. There's one. Oh, there's a Titanicus plushie as well for $29.99. They do have comic books, So War graphic novel for $19.99. And they have Titanicus figure for $39.99. The same price as the plushie. Let's click on the Gorgo and see. Still says 2 in stock. So,
wow.
and this was designed by Dope Pope.
Dope Pope. All right.
Yeah. So you get the baby Gorgo, the diving bell. You get 3 in the jets from the Jet Squadron. Big Ben accessory. And it's supposed to light up eyes, head, GID effect. So probably the one that was not on the figure is the light up head.
Oh wait, it might be glow in the dark. It said GID effect. Is it light up eyes or is it glow in the dark effect?
Oh, it could be glow in the dark. Yeah, it could be glow in the dark.
Oh, maybe that's it. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. Just
I
put
don't
it up
want to
against
be like, hey, you guys ripped me out. Yeah.
Gorgo.
Where's my light up head?
It's okay. I'm home now. Bourbon in tow. Oh, Timothy Olsen in the house. You had something to ask Timothy.
Good man, smoking. Oh, hey, Timothy. What's up, brother? No, I just was waiting for Timothy because I wanted to let him know that Melvin arrived today. I just opened it up right before I got on the stream, so I haven't had a chance to go through everything. Dude, you loaded me up, and I got a ton of stuff to show everybody. So we'll take a look at that one here in a couple of minutes. I have to get things organized a bit because there's so much to lay out on from what Timothy sent me. Very nice, though, man. Nice, beautiful packaging. He had it wrapped extremely well. Great job on the packaging, too, Timothy. Bravo, sir. Bravo. I'm going to dig into those later this evening.
Did you do the catch-up tier with Timothy?
Yeah, I got 1, 2, and 3.
That's what I got. Yeah, to get caught up. Yeah. No, you didn't get 3 yet. Oh, did you? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And a bunch of trading cards, a cool pin.
Timothy's
poker chip, very cool poker chip with the little monster guy on there.
Timothy's link should be down.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out, check it out. All right, here we go. I'll show you the cover.
Melvin
Anyhow,
3.
and then we can move on to Chesky.
I don't think you got Melvin 3 yet. Melvin 3's not done
maybe
yet.
It's just 1 and 2. I don't know. I got 3 books here, buddy.
Well, yeah, one's the Rob Ewing variant, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so it's just 1 and 2 then. All right, but whatever. It was the catch-up here, so I'm caught up now. So.
Yeah, Melvin
Right.
1, Melvin 2, Dillard cover. Yeah, now that's the Rob Ewing cover.
Okay, that's Rob Ewing.
Yeah,
Melvin
he says
2
he doesn't even
is
have
our
one.
boy.
You should
Our boy
send.
Vic King.
You should send Rob Ewing a copy of the cover to Melvin.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have one, he said. It's
then,
called courtesy comp to your artist. Dillard
And who
probably
did this cover? Oh, this is Dillard's cover, right? This the Dillard? Yep, sure is.
Timothy says Melvin 3 will soon be 100% done.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a Virgin cover there.
Yeah. I think that's Dillard. It looks like his signature on there. Is that one the Dillard cover, Timothy?
That's the Dillard cover, yes.
Ah, okay. Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait to read these later after we get done.
Yeah, you got the Rob Ewing is number 1, and the Vic King and Dillard are issue 2. So you got 2 issue 2s there. Yeah. The Virgin cover is Dillard, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, very nice.
Timothy says just needs 1 page. Okay, cool. Melvin 0 is in the process of being lettered. Cool.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I had a terrible ride home, a bad day at work. I got home and my marketing manager's like, "Hey, you got a couple packages on the table. What do you think?" Always makes my day.
And since we're having a Melvin unboxing, let's take a look at the trailer. Melvin 3 by Timothy Austin there, that handsome-looking guy with the glasses. 19 days ago, he is funded, so, you'll be getting your books because Timothy's reliable. He's delivered 2 books before, plus variants. 24 back. $601.
Don't believe me? Believe you're out.
Better jump on it, folks.
Good. Get in there.
Everybody dance. Come on.
It's a lively stomp.
Pull out that cherry pumice and start the foam and lather up and dance. Do it.
Alrighty then.
Some of that pumice power.
It's Chappy magic.
Make sure you get the hard to reach area.
Dude, look at that. Please, black and white didn't do this.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Yeah, I'm really torn now. I would have, before I quit collecting mainstream and all that, I would have said I preferred color probably. But nowadays, I just love the black and white art. I don't know. Something about.
Gable says, I pitched it to you before. Well, if it's like me, Gable, I need to hear something pitched to myself 2-3 times before it sinks in and I really get a grasp on it. But if it's a good idea, it'll keep coming back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you got the little tchotchkes, right, along with the Melvin books?
Oh, yeah.
Can you show those off to people? I've got some.
Yes, I'm trying to get. There's a bunch of them, so I'm trying to figure out how to do all.
Okay. While you get that, I will make the announcement on the Devil Flyer prequel. I've made a management change, and that's all I'll say about that. The Devil Flyer prequel campaign, as soon as it gets we're going to work on it this weekend. Hopefully something up by next week. It will have to be approved, as you know, over on Fund My Comic, but you will get a chance to get the first two, and they're both Bog, Gable. They're both Bog. These are cards, very rare cards. There was 150, and I sent out a bunch of these to Canada, here in the United States, to comic shops back in 2016. In 2017 on this one, there was only 50 of these made. So this is the real rare one here. And this is the first time Bog speaks and says anything. That's hand lettered by me on the fly, about 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. But you'll get a chance, the early people, to get the very first Momentum Comics published
where the little review
postcard.
What's the part from both?
That has a shot of Bog's face there. Another iteration there. And you can see my friends. I wasn't even using my own. It's LZJuniorCharter.net, which is still good. My friend LZ over there in Tennessee. They're both scratch art. You know, the scratch art with nothing done to it looks like this, although the piece is bigger. And I recently hung that up on my wall. And then this is reversed with a little bit of, and I left a little bit of that because I like the dark areas on his arm and leg. Left that in, but we did, some effects. But it's reversed. That is scratch art.
Poor baby.
Bog is the hero of the people. Yeah. Melvin Universe will be monthly soon. Well, we can always dream.
Okay.
Been writing scripts for Ash.
Here's a bunch of the chapters. We got a pack of trading cards over here.
Right.
We got Melvin trading card. I believe these are trading cards. Or they might be little tiny mini sketches.
Yours looks different than mine. Yours looks different than mine.
Look at this little guy.
Maybe I just haven't looked at him good enough.
And then this one on the back.
Yeah. Now this has got some of Andy's artwork. Did you get the ash can? Did you get the ash can?
Hold on. I'm still not done yet. I got more stuff to show you.
I think you got more stuff than I did.
I got the poker chip, which I love that little dude. I got to figure out what his name is when I read the book.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
Is that's Melvin, I think, right?
Yeah, that's Melvin. Yeah, with his shield.
Yeah. Okay. And then this really cool doggy punch soda. I don't know what that's about, Timothy, but it's funny. I like.
Well, that's his brand of comics, right?
No, his comic is Velvet Comics. It says.
Oh, Velvet Comics. That's right. Yeah.
And then here's
Brand Low. What the hell, Timothy? What the
Toys and Monsters, mini comic or Afghan, what have you? I'm not sure. Ooh, didn't notice her right away. Hello, Children of the Corn, baby.
Yeah, now that's Andy's artwork right there. That whole thing.
Yeah, awesome.
Mm-hmm. Andy,
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Who's
man, that's
passed away earlier.
Wow, that's great. I'm glad I got some of Andy's work.
Oh, I was too. I was overjoyed to get the stuff. Yeah.
Oh my god! And hold on a second.
Smoking Right says nice rack. Carrie, what the hell? You should be all over Smoking Right. He's the villain of today's show, as you well know. Or you're always telling us. Oh, look, it's footage from the moon. It's, that looks about like, the images they sent back from the moon. It's carpet. God bless teats. Absolutely. We always like a nice rack around here. And I'm not necessarily talking about ribs. Although I like ribs too. I mean, if you like ribs and women, they kind of, because Eve came from Adam's rib, right? Just saying. Makes, ribs and women, they kind of go together. But is that cannibalism? Well, not if you eat the ribs from another animal. Just don't eat them from women. We don't condone cannibalism around here. In fact, we find it quite repulsive. I've been Carrie's villain for full 2 months now. Rex, wash your mouth out. Okay. Rex, okay, you're muted, Shadowhawk. Just to let you know. There we go. Whoops. There.
That was weird.
He's coming. There he goes.
Gonna have to remind me exactly what these are. He
says he was running low, but I got mine, a month ago or so, and I didn't get all this stuff.
I don't know.
He must have found some in the meantime. I see how it is, Timothy. Wow. You know what that reminds me of? Frank Miller's character from Sin City, Marv.
Yeah, if he was covered in metal, I guess.
Yeah, if he was covered in metal. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I don't know if he must be the bad guy, I'm guessing. And then there's that one there. I think there's. Oh, and then there's another one on the back side. This is a really cool little presentation thing.
I got think
I've ever seen one quite like.
They were like, it looked like it was all hand folded, right?
Say hi to my
foot. Some of the refs stand and gone, so I had to substitute something. Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm fine, Timothy. I'm happy. Yeah, you loaded me up, brother. Awesome, thank you.
I loaded him up, but what did I get?
Well, Rex, you're only the host.
Rex, did you or did you not get the ash can? Yes, I did. I got the ash can. I think I got the ash can right here, bro. Somewhere. But yes, I did get it. Mm-hmm. Oh, and we were talking Mr. Bean yesterday. We showed us Rowan Atkinson's. Is that how you say his last name? Atkinson?
Yeah, I believe so.
But he did Mr. Bean. Have you ever seen the Mr. Bean car by Matchbox that came out a few years ago? Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
Beanmobile.
This came out just a few years ago. Anyway, yeah, I've loaded up on these, a few of them. Mini Coopers tend to sell pretty good, or they did back in the day. I wonder what a Quentin Tarantino version of Mr. Bean would be like. Yeah, I've never wondered that. Melvin 0.5. How come, Gable? Why do you want to trigger me this way? It's like 0.5, 2.5, and white nipple over here, or wait, white nipple over there. Now,
wait, what?
Just saying.
Just saying. All right, you're doing it again. You brought this on yourself.
Yeah. Now, do you think? Oh, no, not the second one. No. Now, do you think this is a good deal? I think this is a good deal because if you have a use for a 10. $1.25 at Dollar Tree.
Oh yeah, those little pins come in handy for stuff.
Yeah, you could keep your weed in here. I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they make great little rolling trays.
Oh, really? I guess it would. A little
slash rolling tray.
I wouldn't want to do it on something small like this. You know how things pop off. Flop and,
we had one that's smaller than that for when we go camping. It's all self-contained.
Yeah. 4 cookies, I guess.
Actually handy.
4 cookies is 160 calories. I guess that's not too bad.
I like those little Danish sugar cookies or whatever. You dip those in some coffee, boy. Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah. It's just slightly sweet, for $1.25, I think if you get the 10, which you can use forever till it rusts, I think that's kind of a deal that you get at Dollar Tree.
And if you keep those things inside, unless you've got a really humid, environment you live in, it'll probably never rust.
Right. Is that a biscuit tin or a cookie tin? It's a cookie tin. It's for Danish style butter.
I'm gonna have to pick some of those up next time I go to the Dollar Tree if they got them.
Yeah, I mean that's why I picked this one up. I said, you get the tin for $1.25. That's not
funny.
too bad.
Rex was just talking about smoking weed.
Was not. Oh. I was talking about storing it.
I don't know if they heard you or not.
Yeah.
Storing it. Storing what?
How long could you store? How long could you freeze, deep freeze? I guess you could deep freeze for 5, 10, 15, 100 years, right? And then thaw it out and it'd still be smokable?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there would still be any potency left to it or not.
You would think all that would be frozen, but
maybe you would think, out. But
yeah.
I'm trying to remember because I used to talk to the lab boys at the factory when I was working at the weed plant, and they were telling me something about like a shelf life on the stuff. Yeah. But again, we weren't talking about deep freeze either. We were just talking about like stored in airtight containers. Right. So yeah, possibly freezing. I mean, that might preserve it for God knows how long.
Well, now, if you're talking,
I don't think it could hurt it.
If you're talking potency, shouldn't you go to the kitchen and do edibles?
Not necessarily. I mean, it depends what kind of edible. If you're making them yourself, that's one thing. But if you're getting them,
yeah,
the ones
if you're making it yourself in your kitchen, yeah.
But then again, it depends how different people metabolize things differently. Like for me, right. I don't really get that great of a reaction from edibles. They got to be super strong edibles for me to get a good reaction.
Yeah, I mean, honey, Timothy is. I mean, you can eat that ancient Egyptian. Although I wouldn't, I'd check it under a microscope.
Oh, dude. Well, you can infuse like all kinds of stuff with it too. You can infuse butter and like you can make a weed infused steak, dude, like a butter basted steak or whatever if you want to. Yeah, one of my buddies that I worked with used to make butter all the time. He cooked with it like all the time.
I found a rolled up joint here in the house when I removed a shelf that's underneath the stairs. And there's one shelf above where you hang the clothes. And when I removed the shelf, there hidden was a rolled up joint. There wasn't any potency to it. I mean, it was, you might as well have been smoking air.
Oh, damn it. Are you kidding me? My earbuds are done already. Shit.
I'm sure it was probably there for years,
Okay. What's here?
Smoking Reyes says he's puffing a nug. I've never heard of a nug. A nugget, maybe? I guess so. I guess so. A nug. Okay, short for nugget. I found in the bottom of the drawer. Year old, maybe. Tastes terrible, but does the job.
Yeah, let's see. There you go.
Timothy Olsen says, so not great for taste, but still gets you ripped. Rex is so white. Yeah. Well, thanks for that. Sig Heil and Hell Hydra. I actually just finished. I binge watched the first season of Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I finished it like early this morning, I guess. THC oxidizes, so in a jar would help, but whatever works. Yeah. If you keep the air out, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just wondering, you might be able to extend the life of it for quite a while by freezing it.
Yeah, so, if you wrapped it up and froze it and kept it out of the air. Yeah.
Yeah, vacuum pack it and pop it in the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad idea. I might try that. Just put away a couple of nice nugs and leave in the freezer for a year or two and then pull them out.
Yeah, I mean, what are you out? You're out a, pinch a little bit,
A couple of little budlies, no big deal. It won't hurt for a
Timothy,
nice experiment.
Timothy Olsen says, sure thing, wavy gravy. Hippie lingo. He goes downhill after season 2. Rex don't get addicted. I'm not addicted. I have, I think, four or five seasons of four. Maybe the fourth season had Ghost Rider in it. I don't have all of them, but I've watched all of them before. This is probably my third or fourth rewatching.
What's this one?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, okay. I never watched that one.
Which your icon is pretty close to the S.H.I.E.L.D., icon on the show and in the books.
Oh, really?
A little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I had them all lined up there in a drawer, and it's like, yeah, I need something to watch, and it kind of helped to kind of go through, and it's like, yeah, that guy's a Hydra agent, and I knew that. Oh, something that I'd forgotten: Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton was in several of the episodes in season 1, in the latter part of season 1.
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and of course, rest in peace, Bill Paxton. He's passed away now, but
yep, he's a goner.
Yeah. And had a great death scene in on the pool table in Tombstone. I knew I recognized wavy gravy. Damn you, Timothy. Well, what's wavy gravy? Am I just out of the know? Probably. Tomorrow,
strain of weed. You never know.
If you're coming in late, we'll have Odin Driscoll on and Skunk Artworks. We will have a special time. We'll be an hour earlier tomorrow because we wanted to get Skunk Artworks in there with Odin. He's in Germany. So we'll be starting at 3 tomorrow, which shouldn't be a problem, Shadowhawk, because it's the weekend.
Yes, no problem.
And there won't be any Rex, Hex, and Apex, but there will be next weekend, and that will be with we're going to feature Glenn Fleming and Hatch and all his work, talk about his books, and get into his.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and get to know Glenn Fleming a little bit more, which we don't have him on enough. I don't think he's a major talker.
No,
I first met him over on Pops' channel, as I did Texas Dave and Doc Blaylock, for that matter, and a lot of other good people,
Sorry, Rex, I just lost my earbuds. They went down, so
wow, you actually sound better without the earbuds.
We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, you sound great now without the earbuds.
Are you kidding me? I don't know why the earbuds should affect the sound whatsoever.
When it comes, okay, I know you like to joke around, and I like to joke around, but when it comes to your audio or your icon,
yeah, but I didn't change microphones, Rex. The earbud, I was just listening so that we didn't have the echo problem or background noise that people were saying.
Smoking Reyes says, "Don't jinx
but
it."
The only difference now is I'm not listening through my earbuds. But that shouldn't change the microphone any.
It did. It enhanced it. I mean, you sound great now. Don't even look at it.
Well,
don't jinx
again,
it.
let me know when it starts sounding not great, because I know it's going to be 20-30 minutes and people in the chat are going to be like, what's that noise? It sounds fucked up.
Yeah.
Unless people are just trolling
burn
me
him
at this
in
point,
effigy.
which probably.
Well, I will never troll you or tell you something wrong about.
Yes, you will. Don't lie.
No, I won't.
You've done it before.
Well, I mean, by and large, if you turn white nipple, I'll let you know, like I say, and if your audio
Yeah,
sucks, I'll let you know.
mostly. Every now and again, you like
Yeah.
to yank much.
I tolerate
But
some of the audio more than the chat does. That's for sure. I'll let you know, Shadow. Don't worry about that. Smoking Ray says.
all right,
Don't know what that's in conjunction with because
smoking. Everybody's a critic.
everybody is a critic. Everybody should be not. Everybody should be. What
I
is
don't
the
know what's going
word?
on with my phone, but this whatever.
Discerning.
I must have accidentally hit some kind of setting or something when I was messing with my sound the other day.
Don't try and figure it out. You'll ruin it.
I'm not. I'm not even going to touch anything. But yeah, all of a sudden it's.
Now, if you didn't catch it, Lorenzo, which he's not in here, but we never throw any aspersions towards that, because usually he is, and he's a longtime supporter of this channel, as you know, and was my first backer on my Ashkin. So Lorenzo can do no wrong. Gorgo was your lizard representation for today, just to let you know. And really, if I never show any lizard representation, I got lizard representation back here. You know?
Oh yeah.
I got dinosaurs and all kinds of stuff back here.
You got Godzilla back there somewhere, or Godzilla?
I got Man Thing
something.
fighting a T-Rex right there.
There you go.
Wait a minute, I'm drifting. There we go. Right there. We're like in a head-to-head.
It's the other way.
Only because it fell over.
Oh, they were just hanging out, and then one of them attacked the other one.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Man, I got to get a new shelving unit, something. I got nowhere to put Gorgo right now.
I guess the T-Rex had emotional damage because Man Thing responds to emotion, strong emotion.
Emotional damage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he will cause you emotional damage.
I noticed something. I thought it was ending. I guess it went into man. I haven't been keeping up with Allie's campaign, but her horror book, I guess went into man. She was closing out the other night. I said hi. Of course, I didn't get a hi.
Oh, egg beaters.
I don't even get a F off, anymore, which I never did. But she'll never forgive me. She'll never respond to me. That's sad.
Well,
she doesn't like to be called out, but I basically told her when she gets a little older and she loses her looks and people stop simping for her so hard, then she'll learn something about life.
Damn, right. Got a little harsh there.
I mean, I didn't put it like that, but I should have. If I was feeling pissy. Yeah. Rex pissed Allie off. Yeah. Wow. How many did you to fund her book? I didn't fund her book.
Damn, Timothy.
Yeah, really. I didn't fund her book. Who are you talking to? Not me.
No, I didn't back it.
No.
I don't know. I heard all kinds of talk about her.
It didn't look good to me. I haven't.
Did she do another? She was working on another project. I don't know what happened to it. But I don't know.
If people like it, fine. I'm glad she got funded. I mean, $5,000 is nothing to sneeze at. I know on closing night she
got miles. Hey, I mean, I don't.
She reached one of her stretch goals where they were going to get a magnet.
Okay.
So there's that. I was sad. I mean, sometimes you don't reach the stretch goals. I mean, and you're so close. I can remember on Mighty Mascot, they didn't reach the stretch goal and we didn't get the eye patch. But now he's got the eye patch now on the next campaign because he probably made them up or wanted those made up and just didn't reach the goal and put it on the next campaign. So that's good.
Yeah. But that's cool. At least you got another chance to get him. He just didn't give up on the idea.
Yeah. Did you, I mean, I don't want to out anybody but did you back Mighty Mascots or have you?
The new one? No, I haven't
Yeah,
backed the new one yet.
yeah, the new one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got, well, like I said, I've got 2 of the cereal box fucking stuffed boxes. I
Oh,
got
I
a
didn't get
ton
the
of
cereal
original
box. That
art
was the
and
only
cards.
thing I didn't get. Yeah, I think he's
Well,
got that
we
available
can
on.
we can make a trade or something, Rex. 'Cause, if you need
You
one,
know,
I got a
I
complete
have
one.
so many books by him, it wouldn't fit in one cereal box. You know it.
Oh, dude, I got the 2 stuffed cereal boxes, but and then plus every time I ordered, because I would order the complete lineup from Alterna, like fall,
Yeah.
spring, winter.
Right.
I
Yeah.
just pretty much order everything and
Hmm.
get the box for them. So I've got like multiple sets of Mighty Mascots.
I do too. I do too. Yeah. I've got multiples, and then I bought his Swamp Tales and stuff like that. That was all signed. When they were on, I showed him some of the stuff that I bought. Mighty Mascots 7, 8, and 9 still in demand, but for a very short time when we had him on the Rex X and Apex show a while
Oh,
back, he
let's look
said,
at this
"Yeah, it's
thing.
going to be up."
I gotta see if I can afford to back them before they end it. Because I
Okay,
do really love these guys. They're a very sweet couple. They work
believe,
together,
and he
husband and wife
ships
team.
very good.
Yeah,
There's
Keith and
Keith
Amy are
Gleason
both
there in
very
his
talented, very cool.
Captain Honeyflake's pirate eye patch. Stretch go unlocked
Arr.
at 7,000. He has reached that goal, so that eye patch is finally unlocked.
Oh,
Mascots
fantastic!
Breakfast Club member, so you get everything basically for $50. You can afford it. Or
Wow,
just
yeah, that's not bad.
$15. And they've got a lunchbox for 20.
Oh,
Shit.
a lunchbox?
Yeah, a
Oh,
lunchbox.
dude,
Yep.
damn it!
Hmm. What
I
if you
think you
made an
done hooked me.
oversized lunchbox that you could store the comics in? Ooh, there's an idea.
Mm, yeah,
Eh,
maybe.
eh. I mean, that
I
would
mean,
be, you see what I'm saying? That would be a different riff on the box, right?
yeah, yeah. It would be
Like
kind of
Dragon
cool.
Rage did or
I mean,
Ethan
as long
did.
as you could get the box made so that the books would sit nice inside of it.
Right. I mean, and you could do a little insert for that to keep them all aligned or something
Well, yeah,
because
I
it's going to
suppose
be
so.
oversized. Look,
Mm,
where there's a wheel, there's a
that'd be
way.
pretty cool, dude. Actually, that'd be. I kind of like that idea.
I do too. I'm
It
glad
would
I
be
came up with it.
well.
I'm copywriting it right now. No one's stealing
There
it.
you go.
Yeah, there's the
Trademark,
box right
copyright,
there.
Rex
He might
Christian,
have a new box on
2023.
this, a new box design. I can't remember
Um.
on this cereal box. I don't know.
Oh, he's got a new cereal box on a new
I
campaign.
don't know. I don't know if it's the old design or
I.
we could
Let me see.
compare it if you got yours handy.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me blow up that cover for me so I can see it bigger. Can you
Okay.
make it any bigger?
Yeah, I'm just seeing what
The
we have here.
the cereal box cover.
Quite a few add-ons. Ooh, at 10,000
All
you
right.
get temporary
Hold
tattoos.
on. Let me turn my screen and blow that up so
There
I
is
can
a
see it, and
Captain
I'll go look at
Honeyflake's
my.
puppet made by his wife, I believe.
Oh, I think that is a new box, dude. Let me go double check.
I think it is, yeah. Bring back the metal lunchbox. That's a metal lunchbox, or you could do a small ash can to go in the lunchbox. Yeah, that and all your tchotchkes. I mean, with the one lunchbox that I got for Hell Salad, uh, which I'm
Oh
not
no,
sure
it's
was
not.
a.
No, that's the.
Do
Whoop,
you remember on Hell
whoop.
Salad was the lunchbox only available for a week?
I believe it was a 7-day
Yeah,
mini
yeah.
perk thingy.
Yeah, all my acrylic standees and stuff came in it. So that's a good way to transport stuff safely.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, because he put
Yeah.
everything in the all the extras in the lunchbox.
All right, let's see what you got, Shadowhawk.
Yeah, an ash can
Let's
would
see if
go in
it
the
matches
lunchbox
up.
really well. That's a good idea. What?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Absolutely.
it's the same one. I thought it was different, but no,
Is it?
that's the same one.
Let's take. Oh, it
Yep.
is the same one. Okay, and he signed it too,
Mhm.
didn't he?
Oh yeah,
Up there.
there's
Yeah,
Keith right there.
Keith Gleason.
And then
Yeah.
you got your
You
the
know,
Mighty
that's just great.
Mascots.
And now, can you remember? Did he sent my order a box within a box with peanuts around the inner box? Did he
Oh
do
yeah,
that?
yeah. No, these didn't come just like in the mail with stickers on them and shit. No,
He
they were
actually
they were
lost
boxed
money
up.
on shipping with my order,
He
but
might have. I don't
Keith
know.
does it right. He wants it to get there unscathed.
Hmm.
I can't say enough about Keith. He was with
And dude, I
Alterna
mean,
a long
I
time.
believe I showed you a bunch of the sketch cards that I won at auctions on Alterna and things like that. I've got a bunch of original
Yeah.
art from Keith and Amy. And I love their stuff, man. They're a lot of fun. Boxer Bear and the little alien guy are my favorite.
What do you think about, if you sent if you did an oversized lunchbox?
I don't know that you'd call it. Well,
Well, I
I don't
mean,
know.
if you were going to put all the comics in there, it'd have to be oversized. Would that even make
Right, but
sense? I don't even know if you could make an oversized lunchbox. You'd have to retool and stuff, right? I mean,
that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering because I don't know
yeah,
if you could find anybody to make it
do it.
for you. You know,
Right. Yeah, I bet
I
you
mean, just because.
could, but it might be a stretch and it might be expensive. They might have to do different dies, different setups, and different things. But where there's a will,
Right.
there's a way. Of course, you don't
Well,
want
it
a
depends how they.
lunchbox. You don't want something
Yeah, I
extremely
would think
huge,
those are
right?
just like stamped, basically, right? I mean, your lunch boxes are
Right.
basically just stamped metal, and
Yeah,
then they're
you'd have the sheet
kind
of metal, and then it would come down and stamp out the
of,
form.
and then you
And
bend them
yeah,
into shape.
uh-huh, yep. And then somehow they're all the artwork's done on them. The glaze or enamel, whatever they use.
Lazy.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, they
I
print them somehow.
look. I tell you what, man. That hell salad lunchbox up there. That's one of my prize and joys. There, I love it. You know. Although I don't go around just looking at it all day long, it's just like I was glad I was able to get it. And I think it was only available for a week. I know, I think,
Okay, Timothy, I'm losing you here. Why would I do that? Because that lunch that that cereal box is already full of comics. Why do I want to put the backs of cereal boxes in there? Huh?
don't even try and figure out Timothy. I learned that a long time ago. You know,
Okay. I mean, maybe he's thinking like something cool as a collectible for the future, like cereals that go away and stuff. Like we used to have Sugar Bear, and then
can't
Poacher's
get
got him.
enough of that sugar, Chris.
Damn, Poacher's got Sugar Bear. He was wearing a blue fucking sweater. I don't know why they shot him.
Well, scratch that idea, what he says. Yeah, I think
A
Keith
swing and
said
a miss.
well, yeah, I mean, see, he overprinted what he needed for the first campaign. So, and the eye patches, whatever, the stretch goal wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
he probably already had those made up, ready to go. And he just brought it over to the next campaign. That's what you do, I mean, just like
Yeah,
I
ain't
said
nothing
to
wrong with that.
you and I were talking the other night, or I and Elsie on the phone last night. I forget. Anyway, I had these postcards already printed up. I've already paid the money and
Oh,
have them
we were
printed up
talking
and
in the.
in
I can't
hand. I
remember
might
if
as
we were
well.
on the phone or if we were after the show. I don't remember,
Yeah, it
but yeah,
was
we were
after
talking
the
about them the other
yeah,
night.
yeah. I already have them printed up, so I might as well utilize them.
Well, I done told you I want mine.
You want yours, yeah. Well,
That's right.
yeah. I mean, it's the first thing I ever produced, which was a promo to
And
send
I
out.
mean, dude, you know me, dude. I love Bog. So as soon as you
Yeah, I mean,
showed me Bog, I was like, yeah, that's cool. I like them.
Once I figure out something worthy of my talents, I will be doing a bog story, probably for Devil Flyer #1, because all the bog stories are going to go in the prequel that are done by Doc. Now, Doc likes to draw. I'm vacillating whether to give him that spot or do it myself. Of course, if I give it to him, all right. I'm getting certain characters drawn, right, for the character cover, which will be a collage cover of different artists, like Marvel does with their characters. And so I'm thinking I would like to do Bog myself, but should I let Doc do it?
That's totally your call, bro. I mean,
I know. I think I would like
I
to be
would,
on
you
some
know
of
what
them.
I would do, dude, is I would throw down, do your idea, what you want to do, and then just tell Doc, go ahead. If you don't, if you'd like to, just go ahead and do something. And if I like yours better than I like mine, then maybe I'll go with yours. I don't know.
I'm not doing that. I
You
like
don't want
mine
to take
better
that
than
gamble,
yours.
Rex?
What
Rex
is
doesn't
this?
want to take the
Hockey's
chance.
draw? What the hell? No, I'm just saying, maybe he could draw another artist, or something. I probably need to give Doc something to do. He has done some, not in maybe running positions. He did a mummy for me. He did some other characters. So, he has done a vampire for me, which will be in the story. So,
Oh,
I could put his vampire on the villain's cover. Um, so I'll just have to see what I have.
yeah.
If I don't use certain artwork on the covers, I'll use it in the interior, and some will
What
be
are you
used
doing?
twice. Huh? Oh, he's got a separate conversation going on. Of course he does.
Crazy. Sorry, my
And now
daughter's
we
over
have
here.
reached the pinnacle of the show, which is, what is Shadowhawk having for dinner? Does he even
Oh,
know?
I'm making Italian beef with mozzarella cheese, sweet and hot peppers on a nice fresh Italian style of bread, and I'm not sure what we're doing for side dishes yet.
Sounds
What's that
good.
look about? Oh, yeah, it's gonna be good. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it will be good.
you got me drooling here.
Yeah, I make a mean Italian beef, man. It's good stuff.
Sounds good. Yeah. I was really surprised when Doc said, you come over and make me a meatloaf. Apparently, he's
You
got
guys want to know
more.
a secret for great Italian beef?
Sure, we're into secrets around here. Secret.
Yeah,
Got a
in
secret.
the
Oh, there you go.
broth, the jus, your beef broth
Ooh,
and stuff that you're gonna
jus.
let your meat kind of once you cook your meat, you're gonna soak it in and let it all marinate up all those
Marinade.
lovely spices.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You get your bottle of peppers, whatever you're gonna use,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a certain amount of them you throw into your jus, but then you take about a third of that bottle worth of that pepper juice that's been just sitting there with them peppers for probably a year or so on the shelf, and you
Oh
pour
yeah.
that in there. And oh man, does that Italian beef come out tasty. Oh man, dude.
Thank you, Timothy Osen, for the lunchbox.com. That's cool.
Oh, is that somebody that produces lunchboxes? Like
Yeah.
anything you want on a
Why,
lunchbox?
yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
very
that's
cool.
that's one, insulated
You rock,
brown
Timothy.
lunch bag. Insulated brown lunch bag, really? They got backpacks, different things. Interesting. Metal lunch boxes,
Oh yeah, it looks
insulated.
it. I think it looks like a paper bag, but it's
Uh-huh.
actually like that foil interior, like one of those soft insulation bags.
I actually have a couple of those for like freezing. Keeps things
Hmm.
cold.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, be, Bento boxes? Don't know what that is. Bottles and accessories, lunch
Oh,
boxes.
bento boxes. That's in Japan they do like kind of like a tea time thing. You know, like it's different than English tea. But like that Japanese have tea as well, ceremonies and stuff. But like for I don't know if it's and it may be more of a lunch thing. I don't know if it's at the tea or at lunch, but they have these little boxes that's like a lunch box, but they're made out of wood and they're like little tiny compartments and stuff. So instead of having just like a sandwich and some chips, in your bag with a thermos, you have like a little compartment that's got um, wasabi peas, and then you got a little compartment that's got some kind of snack foods or something. Then you got another little compartment with like your peanuts and protein, whatever kind of stuff like that you like. It's really cool. They do like just all kinds of different ones.
Phil Diaz in the house saying, "Hey."
Hail, Phil.
Now, I brought Mighty Mascots up and didn't play the trailer, so I guess we need to chop that up put it on the chopping block and chop it up.
Let's chop it up on Choppy Ass Theater.
Yes, such a melodious voice.
Ahoy, mateys! 'Tis I, Captain Horatio Honeyflakes, and I be here to tell you about me newest crowdfunding campaign. The adventures continue with me crew, the Mighty Mascots, in issues 7, 8, and 9. Just focus your looking glass on the amazing artwork of Ian Warianto and Anton Bondi. Me crew, the Mighty Mascots, are up against some scurvy scallywags, and we need ye help to defeat them. There be a bounty of exclusive treasure only available here, where X marks the spot. I spy a huge coffer of bonuses and stretch goals on the horizon. Then please consider pledging so we can continue these adventures with the weirdest crew I ever had the pleasure of sailing with. Mascots Unleashed!
I love that part. Mascots Unleashed. Love it. Yeah, Jimmy Reyes should be joining us hopefully here in a little bit. Hopefully. He's been to the doctor. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, he may be joining us late or not at all, but I set up everything and, been trying to get Jimmy on here for a little while. But he's been busy. He's one of those
Sorry.
who's been busy.
Chatty 13-year-old over here.
Yeah, well, I understand. Can't you run her out of the house? Damn it.
I would if I could. A few more years.
Few more years. Well, I don't mean permanent.
Hell, if this was the old West, she'd have been married off by now.
Well, that's true. At about 16, right? Or wait, yeah. She's not even 16 yet.
No, she just turned 13. I'm just teasing.
Well, that's old enough. Back in the day.
For
marrying off.
Don't answer that.
Old enough for marrying off. Back in the day, right? 13.
All right, well, that is not acceptable these days, Rex, and we should probably not be talking about it.
Okay. Well, okay. Jimmy Reyes and his wife Anna went out late night run for fajitas last night. So we know what he was doing, and that was probably why he wound up at the doctor's. Just saying.
Oh, bummer. No, maybe he had already had a scheduled appointment.
Well, probably. But, it might have been gastric distress, eating all this.
You went out for fajitas. You ain't getting gastric distress from good fajitas.
Yeah.
Unless
well,
you're
this is pre-eating it, I mean, sure, you look all giggles and smiles now, but all those refried beans I see there and
no,
very
good
nice
Lord,
setting.
You know what?
What?
You don't know how to enjoy life, my friend. What do you
Well,
eat? Nothing but meatloaf and mashed potatoes?
you know what I bought yesterday?
What?
2 cans, yes, canned, of refried beans.
And what are you gonna do with those?
I like refried beans. Well,
Oh,
last can of
well, you
refried
sounded like
beans.
you were just dissing on the refried beans a second ago.
No, but to
I'm
think
just
that
saying.
that beans don't cause gas is not to be in this universe's reality, right?
Well, that,
Beans
dude.
cause gas. Hello?
But just because you have a little gas does not mean you have gastric distress.
Well, that's true.
You're making it sound all scary.
Well, yeah. Well, just if it's not the beans, it could be the peppers. Oh,
Well,
and
it could
since
be.
Phil
It
came
could
in
be a lot of things. But I mean, if
here,
you're,
I'll show some
dude,
Simon Bisley.
I eat Mexican food on a regular basis, and I eat very spicy fajitas, and I do them up with guacamole and refried beans and all kinds of stuff when I do them. And I've never once had a bad reaction
God, everything's a
from
debate
eating
with you.
fajitas.
Anyway, Hulk
One of
and
my favorite dinners ever.
Wolverine done by Simon Bisley. This is dope.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I like it. Look at that hand getting ready to clamp
Oh,
down on Logan.
Phil's gonna be falling out of his chair here checking this shit out, bro. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah,
he loves the
that's
biz.
dope.
Who doesn't love the biz? Everybody loves the biz.
Well, I was saying that I thought Preston Aceveda. Am I saying his name right? Anyway, Preston's work
I think so. Yeah,
looks
you're
a
saying it
lot
right.
like Bisley's.
Think he
Looks a
looks
lot
like Bisley or draws like it?
The stuff that I've seen is going for that edginess that he does.
Oh, okay. I got you. His artwork
It
is.
reminds me of Bisley, and I'm sure that he's influenced by Bisley and other artists.
Okay, just the way you said
No,
it though, is like he kind of looks like Bisley. I was like, wait a minute, you mean like physically like resembles him, or
no, he doesn't. Well, no, he
you
doesn't
you
look
threw
like
me
Bisley.
for a
No.
second? Sorry.
Uh, now,
Sorry.
have you?
All right, I gotta go refresh my drink. I'll be right back.
All right, I had to key this up. Brian De Palmer. I wanted to see this when it came out, but I was too young. There we go. It's not a very good look. Trying to get it keyed up a good look. There we go. There we go. You remember this movie? Make it big there. All right, he's muted. That was a dud. Anyway, Rowdy Child in the house. Yeah, Phantom of Paradise, 1974. When that came out, they were actually showing that. I remember on the drive-in movie. Oh man, I wanted to see that so bad, but it was rated R, and I was too young. I didn't realize that was Brian De Palmer. It was kind of glam rock, outrageous, retelling of Phantom of the Opera with singing. But yeah, I love that. Wanted to see that as a child. If you haven't got your David Finch fix, here's a Moon Knight done by David Finch. Never heard of it. It's pretty good. I don't have it in my collection. I need to get it. I have seen it, although it's been several years since I've seen it. Um, things not cooperating. What the hell? Of course it's not. All right, I'll get back to where I needed to be.
I'm sorry, bro, man. I got major teen girl drama going on. She's got stuff happening at school, and she has to talk about it.
Oh,
Give
okay.
me a sec.
I'll give you a sec. Okay. All right. Oh, another, William Dafoe as Max Shrek is a good one. The vampire movie he did. I haven't seen that. I don't have that in my collection either, but that's cool. This is one of my favorite comics that I have. I love just the Jack Kirby transformation covers. And it has a gorilla. He's being turned into a gorilla. Always sells on a cover, they say. Gotta have a gorilla. Issue 5 of Fear. Love the transformation. You don't get to see very many paneled covers.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, check this Fear number 5 out. I do have that in my collection, although I'd like a nicer copy of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, should I? Monkey. Smoking Ray. Should I put the apostrophe in a different place? Should I put it at the end?
I don't know if there is an apostrophe on it. I think it's just Reyes.
Well, no, there's not. But see, I was saying Jimmy Reyes Rage. And it's like it's his rage. So you put apostrophe S in that. Okay. But now he's saying put it at the end.
But yes, his name has an S on the end already. So you gotta.
So would it go on the outside?
I don't know.
Okay. Smoking Ray thinks so. His last name is Reyes, so it'd be Reyes on the end. I didn't know that.
Okay. Reyes is, yeah, it would be Reyes. Yeah, so it would go. It would be apostrophe S after the S, right? I think.
Am I saying Jimmy? The way I have it now is it Jimmy Reyes's?
We're starting to get hammered.
Jimmy Reyes's, right? Whoa. Well, maybe that's why he'll get mad. Or maybe, with the apostrophe S apostrophe S.
I know, Smoking. That just doesn't feel right, does it? It just looks wrong.
Feel right. Yeah.
I don't know how else to do it though, because his name is Reyes.
Yeah, it probably would come at the end.
Maybe.
Smoking Wraith might be a good editor too, right?
He might be better than me, because that's one of the few questions on English that I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not sure.
Well, he's from Arkansas, so I always suspect
that's why it surprises me, actually.
Yeah, well, he's well read,
Yeah, it just doesn't look right. Yeah, probably the apostrophe afterwards would be the proper, I would think, proper English way to do it.
Has leaves started falling there? Leaves have started falling here. I mean, it is fall. It is autumn.
Yeah, not too bad yet, because we've been pretty much unseasonably warm here.
Yeah.
Well, dude, man, we're getting a howler right now, man. The wind is kicking. Holy shit.
It's windy here today, too. It's not. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's kicking right now. As a matter of fact, I look out there.
Oh, dude, man. The wind out here, it's got to be blowing 40, 50 mile an hour right now. It just kicked
Here's your Jimmy Craig werewolf.
Damn. What's going on, Daisy?
There's your Jimmy Craig werewolf from the EC days. Classic werewolf. I know you like some werewolf.
That's cool for a Wolfman type
werewolf. I know my grammar. Some have started falling, but it was a month ago. It's nippy today too. Yeah, it's supposed to be getting getting
Yeah, we've
colder.
had, a
According to
tiny
Elf.
bit, like, some of the more early species of trees, I guess, have,
Oh, we got a rain yesterday.
did you? It
You
looks like
know,
we're in
for
for a
most of
good
the
one here
day.
coming
Started
in
early in the
right now.
morning. This
Uh-oh.
is cool. I know Carrie will like this. Check this.
I'm just a cat that likes to have fun. Long lazy days I lie in the sun. I'm just a cat as quiet as a
honey,
mouse. So let
you see
me
the weather?
in, open your house. I'm just a
Can you
cat,
check it?
let
See
me
if you got a weather app on
concur.
your
No
phone?
need to fight,
I'm gonna
just
check
throw
and see
my
what they're saying, because that wind came out of nowhere.
I don't play.
Now, I must say,
Oh,
you can
kitty.
see at the very beginning here, you can see he's already glazed or something the body form in. So it's not like he's randomly, or he or she, whatever. See, he's already
Oh,
got
yeah,
it
she's
glazed. He's already got the forms there. It's staying within the parameters. But that's still pretty neat.
I wonder if she just scratched those lines in with like a...
No, I don't think so.
like a nib?
Probably.
You think laser
I
etch?
don't think so, because you would be breaking the surface of the paper, and it would look darker, a darker outline. And he wouldn't scratch.
Pretty cool.
Thank you. I do love kitty.
Interesting to see.
Yeah. That's a cool illusion. Yeah. Most walnut and oak have started dropping slowly. Yeah, I bought 2 containers of walnuts. Walnuts are good for you. Stocking up for like a squirrel for the.
Yeah, it seems like the walnuts usually start in October for sure. They're one of the early ones.
Yeah, well, oak trees, I mean, sometimes it depends on the wind, how much is the wind going to knock down?
Well, I got mulberry trees, big ones in my yard. I don't know how old these things are, but they're old. And they hold on their leaves until like the end of October, fucking maybe almost till Thanksgiving.
Well,
Like,
winter
they don't want to
is
let go of
not
those
going
things, man.
winter is not going to be that far off.
Oh,
Jimmy Reyes says he's here. Okay. But it's coming in. He's not in the backyard. Not in the backyard. He's not in the back yet.
Maybe he just got home.
Oh. Yeah. Well, we're waiting on him.
Hello, Jimmy. Come on in, mate.
Thank you. I do love kitties, Carrie says. Yes. I know you did. I try and be responsive.
All right. I'm going to go smoke a quick cigarette, check out this weather situation, and hopefully Jimmy will be here by the time I get back.
Jimmy is here.
Hey,
there he is. Hail, Jimmy. All right. Well,
your backyard fence is too high, man. I'm too short. I couldn't climb it. I couldn't get out of the backyard.
Well, I'll bring you up here, Jimmy, with me then.
Oh.
I was going to do an intro, but I was going to say, hey, it's one of the largest, biggest men in comics today, Jimmy Reyes.
Yeah, the biggest little man in comics.
The biggest little man in comics.
Yeah. I'm all right with that title.
I thought that was Cecil.
Oh, well, maybe it was. I think Cecil was
there's
the littlest big
nothing
man.
wrong with us smaller guys, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at me and Cecil. We got some very beautiful younger women in our lives. He's got.
There you go.
He's got that beautiful younger woman. Me too.
We were taking a look at Anna eating fajitas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, your picture of.
Yeah, it was late. I think we got out of there like 2 a.m.
Oh,
we were,
shit, dude. Yeah.
yeah,
That's always a
like,
good time, though, man, when you just decide last minute, let's go get some fajitas, dude, right? Come on.
yeah, like we're
Now,
like,
Jimmy, we
hey,
were
smoking
having
meth.
a debate about your name because up in the title, I put you have an S on the end of your name.
Jamie.
The
Yeah,
apostrophe go at the end of Reyes. If we're
it
talking about your rage,
if the name ends in S, you can do apostrophe or you can do apostrophe S. It's still grammatically
okay.
correct.
I did
Yeah.
Either
apostrophe F.
way,
Either way,
it
yeah.
just doesn't look right, apostrophe
It
S.
yeah, it doesn't look right when it's apostrophe S, but it because it ends in S.
Right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my
So
my
you
little
could go
brother's
on the end of it, and it wouldn't be S apostrophe S
no.
because that
Yeah.
was another thing that Smoking Wraith was throwing out there. So he
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
sure.
Right, that's
No,
but that's what Jimmy is saying. Either way is technically correct, but it
either
just
way,
looks weird.
yeah, it'll look weird. Either way is okay.
Hmm. Yeah, because
Arkansas.
me and Smoking Right both were like, it just
Yeah.
looks better the other way with the apostrophe afterward.
And this
But I
is
wasn't sure that apostrophe S was wrong. I was like, that seems like it would be proper, but it doesn't look right.
Smoking Wraith is one to talk. I mean, he puts Arkansas the way it used to be spelled with a W at the end, but now it has an S on the end. But he's in denial about that.
So now he's doing
Arkansas.
WS.
He's doing the way it used to be, which was SAW, SAW.
It's still pronounced
Really?
Arkansas.
They actually
though.
spelled it that way for a while, or is that just
Oh
a
yeah,
joke?
yeah. Up to within our lifetime, it's changed. I forget
Really?
when.
I had no idea.
You used to.
Daisy, hush. I'm sorry, man. My wife and daughter are walking out. I gotta mute for a minute.
No problem. I was going to say, Shadowhawk, when Rex says within our lifetime, it's unfair. He's been double our lifetime. So,
Well, Jimmy, I'm coming up in less than a month at November 2nd, which is Steve Ditko's birthday as well, and Day of the Dead in Mexico. Just saying.
wait,
you know,
you're really November the 2nd?
November 2nd, right?
Wow, that's awesome. I was raised by my sister.
Uh-huh.
And my sister's birthday, she always calls me up and says, "Don't forget November the 2. November the 2."
Yeah, November 2 is my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you know what? I already got my present this year. I found
what'd you
out
get?
I have a sister this year.
Oh God, you scared me. You said I found out I have a cyst. I was like,
No.
oh,
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was like, you got a cyst for your birthday? That's not a good gift.
Yeah.
No.
That's
So what do
not
you
a
mean you
good
found
gift
out
at
you had
all.
a sister? Wait a minute. Okay, it isn't one of those like Arkansas family reunion stories where like we're like,
No.
oh yeah, well who's your mama? While you're in bed with her, she's like, oh well, my mama. Oh, we're related.
Whoa!
Is that
No.
You didn't find out that way,
No,
right?
incest.
Oh, okay.
Incest not confirmed. Thank you.
You
very
said
much.
the
Now-
incest word. I was being clever about it here.
Well, I know you're. You know, that's your style. You're
No, so how did you
clever. I'm not. So,
How did you find out about this sister that you didn't know you had?
well, my daughter did one of the ancestry.com DNA tests, and through that she found out. Her son, I think, found out, and she just like on, I think it was July, it could have been June 30th, said, hey, I'm your sister, your half sister, because we have different fathers, but
Oh yeah.
we're definitely, and I've learned a lot about my family. So it's like, wow, so now I have a sister. I actually had two sisters, one older, she's the older one, and one younger, but sadly she's already passed away. I never got to meet her. So. And I'm not met my older sister yet. I've just talked to her multiple times on the phone.
But be honest. You're glad she found you with enough time to buy you a birthday gift for your birthday.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And she has other brothers and sisters, I guess, or brothers I know scattered around. So, half brothers, whatever. I mean, it's one of those things. But yeah, her father actually died here in this town that I live and grew up in. And we have some family up in this area, so
the The man was working hard, procreating, giving you a lot of
Oh
half
yeah, he
brothers and
definitely was.
sisters.
Well, my father, she
You know?
says, was a drug dealer out in California.
Oh, an
So I don't know if
entrepreneur.
he's
Okay.
alive or dead or what, but she
Wow.
sent me pictures of my birth mother and of my daughter, which I have not seen since she was 8 years old. But
Wow.
hopefully this will get us back together and you
It could be the
reunite
bridge,
us.
you know?
I
Yeah.
hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always
Um,
that's pretty cool. My fear has always been I'm gonna get a knock on my door and be like, hey, you're my father. You know, I'm like, oh, damn it.
yeah.
You know, I'm
Have you
always
seen that little on Twitter? I love it. It's the little condom with Darth Vader on it. And he says, I will not be your father.
oh yeah. I am not your
I
father.
need to get some of those.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Well that's
Yeah,
pretty
we
cool,
were
man.
just
You
we
know?
were doing a couple unboxings before you got here, talking about things, showing a few trailers.
Oh,
Dragon Rage was one of them earlier. Um,
awesome.
we're excited about Dragon Rage, and are
Yeah.
you still on par to shut the campaign down at about mid-month point?
Well, I announced that I was going to close it down about October 15th. A few
Right.
people have asked for an extension. They're like, "Hey, what's
Okay.
the latest you can pull it down?" Because
Yeah.
their paychecks come after, and they really want to back it. And of course, I mean, my campaign's pretty modest, so I
Right.
could use all the backers,
Yeah.
that we can get.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm thinking I might be able to push it back just a little further into the beginning of November.
And you're still
But
working on the artwork, right? I mean,
yeah,
you
I'm still
were
working on it.
working on a
So
piece on Topicless, and you colored it for the very first time.
yeah, my first time ever trying to color in Clip Studio Paint. I don't know how to color. Like, I mean, I've tried to color once before in Photoshop. So
Mhm.
when it came out pretty good in Clip Studio Paint, I went, oh my God, like I didn't know I could color, but I guess just looking at, I mean, I don't want to like, insult any of the colors because a lot of colors are my good friends, but
Mhm.
you guys don't, it's easy to do. I'm sorry, guys. It's not a skill. No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I respect colors,
Yeah.
but it's a big skill. It's really hard. You have to have an eye for it, a basic understanding of color theory. But Clip Studio Paint with technology today makes it so much easier. Like
I would think the two big things are color theory and also your light source, knowing where your light sources are, right?
definitely light source is a
Yeah.
big
Oh,
one.
yeah.
To me, it was the image books that first exploited that with the hazy out of focus shots in comics, and then the lighting effects were different than anything Marvel or DC was doing at the time. That's what
Yeah.
was kind of innovative, and their colors in their comics, I guess, to a certain degree.
I think it was
Well,
Kiko
they had some of the
Takanashi.
first digital color guys,
Yeah.
working with them
Hmm.
back
Yeah,
in the
one
day.
that was like Kiko. He came in and was
Yeah.
doing the color separations. I think for Extreme and Malibu. I think did a couple of them. But they were coloring with a mouse back then on like just
Right.
old
Yeah.
old Macintosh. I mean, in Photoshop 1
Yeah,
and
from what I hear, it was a whole ordeal, dude, to
I
do
like
all
to
the
yeah.
use a mouse,
separations and
though,
stuff
Jimmy.
back then.
Oh yeah, it was. And they used people
I've
with
never played with it, but yeah, from what I heard, it was like a nightmare. I'm like, nah, I don't want
oh
to do that.
yeah, it was tough. I mean, today it's so easy now. Like guys like me can pick up the stylus pen and just slap color on my artwork, and
Oh, cool! I didn't
it,
know it was that easy now, where you could just
it's
like brush it
so
in.
much it's so much easier now. Like I'm using
Cool.
Clip Studio Paint. Clip Studio Paint made inking easier. Like that's why I don't freelance inking anymore. I'm like, you guys don't need me anymore. Clip Studio Paint makes it so easy. Anybody can just pick it up
Wow,
and just do it.
good. I
Really.
mean, the outcome is beautiful. I
I
mean,
like your confidence in
I
it.
dig the art, man. From what I've seen,
Well, Dragon Rage is an old property for you, isn't it, Jimmy? You've had some
Yeah.
Dragon Rage out there before.
Yeah. In 2020, I released the first version of Dragon Rage out there.
Okay.
And thought to myself, I mean, the thing is, like, I think, like, I understand when some people are out there and they'll say, hey, you don't try to create your masterpiece, just get your product out there, even if you're embarrassed of it, but get it out there, improve it
Mhm.
along the way,
Yeah.
and that's usually like the advice they'll give to entrepreneurs, just get your product out there. So I
Right.
did with Dragon Rage, and that's what I'm doing now is I'm building it along the way. And this time around, unfortunately, I had heart failure I'm a heart failure patient, and I had my heart failure decline to the point where I almost died in the middle of this project. And I thought, oh my God, if this was my last book, man, would I want to be remembered that way? You know, because I forget who it was that said, you die twice. You know, you die when they bury you and they put you on the ground, then you die again the last time someone says your name. You know, and think about like Walt Disney. We're still saying Walt Disney, you know, and he's been gone for, I mean, 50 years or something, you know? And so that's what I want to do. I want to leave a legacy. I want people to remember me, but as something great. Not that I'm dying. I mean, I mean, not to make this stream sound morbid or anything. I mean, my health is
we're all
improving.
dying.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
Little
every day.
A little bit at a time.
Especially those of us that are married, we're dying a little faster than the single guy.
Well,
but,
you know. But you know, you're divorced like I am, right? I mean, so that's
several
times all in itself, right?
Yeah, several times, and then I'm married again. I mean, I didn't learn. You know.
Yeah. Now you grew up poor. What did you learn from that, Jimmy?
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want
to. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, you don't want to be poor, guys. And I learned that. No, I learned that poor is really it's a choice. You know, you don't have to be poor. Not in America.
Yeah, but you didn't go around every day. You didn't, as a kid, you didn't know you were poor, right?
That's true. We were. I mean, I wasn't unhappy as a kid. I lived in a neighborhood where, I mean, I saw a lot of things. I saw a lot of murder, a lot of death, prostitution, drug dealers. I mean,
wow.
You think of the worst in I lived it. I saw it, and all within just like my street, you know, of where I lived. It was pretty bad. It was pretty crazy. And on top of that, I had cancer as a child. So I'm a cancer survivor. I was going through cancer at the time, living in a neighborhood where you couldn't even go outside to play. I mean, you would take a bullet, you know. I mean, we played in our backyards, you know, and there was no kids outside in the front. But it was a rough neighborhood. But to be honest, I had no idea that there was another life out there. Like, I mean, I didn't know it existed. I didn't know comic books existed. I didn't know kids were going to the mall to buy clothes. And I mean, I didn't know any of this stuff, you know, at the time. I know people went to movie theaters, or kids, you know, went to concerts and Showbiz Pizza, you know. I didn't know any of that. I mean, I was running around playing with sticks and old tires and playing hide and seek, red light, green light. You know, that was those were my games.
Right.
You know.
But at some point, you encountered like Conan the Barbarian and a few other characters, right?
Yeah, I was already. I came across superhero comic books first, and then saw that damn cancer's. Yeah,
Eye of the tiger, right here, folks.
I'm tough to kill, man. I'm telling you, man.
Dude, you ain't fucking kidding, smoking, right? This boy's hard.
Yeah. I'm a survivor, dude. I'm telling you. Dude, I've been in car accidents. I've been shot at. I'm still here.
Damn, Jimmy.
Yeah, it was crazy life, man. But you know, I'm still here. And
dude, you sound like you'd have been in fine around here when I was.
I would think one thing that you'd learn from that situation is not to take anything for granted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really kind of humbling, isn't it? Way to grow up.
Unfortunately, I mean, I was a little kid, didn't really realize that there was life, you know, any life out there that was different. So as a teenager, I took a lot for granted. And then in my first marriage, I was married to a very wonderful woman, and you know, gave me beautiful children. I have kids that I'm so proud of. They're
awesome.
They're doing so well in their own businesses. They're so successful. You know, it was a great life, but unfortunately, I took it for granted. I didn't realize, you know, how lucky I was, you know, to hit, you know, to strike like lightning or whatever, capture, you know, lightning in the bottle, the first marriage. Like, wow, it was great. And so I was a kid, and unfortunately, you know, that went down the hill. And then, you know, after that, when you're married for so long, like we were married like 12 years, and then after that. I was just like divorced from myself, single, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to be single. So I rushed into another marriage, married a.
I know that's it, you know, living by yourself because you have your family there, and then you go into marriage, and then you get divorced, and all of a sudden you're alone,
Yep.
I did the rebound thing too. That's hence I'm divorced twice.
Well,
Although I
it's like, think about, you know, like you have this bird and you have it caged, this beautiful bird, and you have it caged. And one day you put the cage up by the window and you open its little gate. Fly, birdie, you're free. And the bird's like, he's scared. You don't know. You don't know.
this
And
is the only home I've known. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, I mean, she let me out the cage, you know, and I was out there. I was scared. And I went looking for a nicer, younger, fancier cage. And I found one. But I mean, no, my second marriage, I went out and married a girl that was, you know, maybe about 6 years younger than me. It wasn't as young, but you know, she's beautiful. She was great. But, and I learned quickly that, like, you can't just, like, not everybody's ready for marriage. And just
I'm gonna
because
do
she's,
that right there, so you can be
yeah,
looking at me
yeah, I'm looking at you.
while we.
And so, and I'm over here. I'm teaching you something here, young man. Is
Okay, I'm listening.
that not every woman's ready for, not every person's ready for marriage, and just because she's beautiful, don't mean her soul is beautiful. No, I mean, I don't want to talk about her. She's not here, but no, I mean, I rushed into a second marriage, and she rushed into it, and then we decided, like, right away. We both got married, literally with like the marriage certificate, and both went, yeah, I don't think we want to do this. You want to do this? She's like, no, not me either. I'm like, yeah. So we got divorced. Like, it was dissolved, you know, so quick. And so in that time, I tell you this story here because in that time, I decided, you know what, I'm going to take time for myself to improve myself and figure out who I am. What do I love? What do I like?
Yeah.
You know? And I started to find out that I want to do my dream. I want to do comic books because I had
How
always.
long were you single, Jimmy?
I went for about 7 years of dating, not
And
getting
you
married,
had to learn to live by yourself, didn't you?
and live by myself. But I'll
Yeah.
tell you, dude, it was
Yeah.
awesome. Like if after just giving it like a couple of hours, like I rushed into the second marriage like right away. But
Right.
after like realizing like, okay, I'm by myself. At first, it was a little, you know, it's cold at night, nobody to snuggle with, you know, and
Right.
you know. But after a while, I
takes-
realized, oh my God, dude, if I want to hang up a poster of Scarface the movie right in my freaking living room, I
You can do it.
If I want to paint a mural of freaking Perfect 10, you know, I'm like, I can paint her right there. You know what I mean? I mean, I can do whatever. You know, I was like, if I don't want to take a bath for a couple of days, ain't nobody here to complain. You know, it's all right.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
but it is an adjustment. I had to adjust how to live with yourself. You know, I
Yeah.
reflected and I said, I had my family there, and then I got married, which was not planned. You know, it just I mean, eventually happened, and it's, oh God, you know, what a torrent, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even adopted, you know, I was paying child support on 3 children because I adopted
Oh.
2 lovely girls that are half Hispanic, by the way, beautiful, long
Wow.
black hair,
Oh, Latinos are beautiful.
brown skin, both of them
Yeah.
just beauties, and
Wow.
just loved them to death. But you know, things just didn't work out, you know.
Oh,
So
yeah.
and I'm a grandfather now. Of course, I've been a grandfather since the 90s, but
Wow.
my biological daughter actually had a child
Wow.
this year.
That's like 30 years ago almost. I mean, that is 30 years ago, isn't it? Like late
What, the
90s?
90s?
Yeah, or early
Yeah,
90s.
yeah, because I've met one of my daughter's daughter, you know, and she's probably by now she's probably up in her teens. So,
Wow.
you know, if not marrying age herself, so I might be a great grandfather. I don't know.
Could
But
be. Yeah, if you were a grandpa in the 90s.
I don't get to see any of them. I mean,
Wow.
hopefully, like I said, we can bridge the gap and come together
Yeah.
and repair some of that. It wasn't anything with the kids. It just they get sucked into all that, you know, when the
Yeah,
parents aren't. It took me
it
2
is
years
sad.
to get divorced from her. 2 years,
Wow. Wow.
a
Yeah,
long, lengthy thing. And then,
wow.
you know, every time you have a child taken off, you know, child support, you had to go back to court. So I had to go back to court 3 or 4 times even after. In fact, on
Wow.
9/11, I was in federal court getting,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So,
Man.
yeah,
That's
I mean, but it teaches you things, you know.
yeah.
I
I mean,
always wanted to be a comic book artist, and I'm finding out I'm maybe a better writer. So I'm kind of not torn. I'm trying to use both. do a little juggling act here and
break in, you know, wherever they need you, wherever you can get the work. I mean, that's what I did. I mean,
yeah.
I broke in as a penciler back in the early '90s, and then they were like, "Hey, you know, your penciling skills, you know, I found out my storytelling skills weren't up to par yet, but my inks were, and they had a need for me as an inker, so I just floated around as an inker.
Yeah, we need to have you on here and talk just inking, you know, and
Yeah.
actually maybe work and ink. I'm all the time doing inking.
Maybe actually work. You're like, damn it, stop talking and get to work,
Yeah.
Jim.
Well, now, do you work traditional at all anymore? I mean, you're doing a lot of digital.
I haven't done any traditional work in a while,
Okay.
but I might be doing some traditional coming up in the near future.
Well, it'd be great for any future campaign because you got something to sell that's tangible.
Yeah, I definitely want to, because people keep asking me, you know, like, hey, you got any originals? You know, they really like the art. And I went, wow, I would only ink, you know, like Brett Booth or Dave Finch, you know, guys whose work I know I could sell. You know, that's the only reason why I would ink the original.
I was going to ask you about the Dave Finch connection because he's got a couple covers on your campaign.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it goes back to when I took time for myself. I was single. I decided that I was going to figure out what I like, what I want to do. And I had always been part-time in comics because my first wife was embarrassed that I was even into comics. And she would look at comic books and the rate that I was getting as an inker back then, and would go, yeah, there's no way we can live off this, you know? And we were used to a certain lifestyle. She was used to a certain lifestyle, and we just couldn't find that in comic books. And there was no benefits and stuff like that. So comics were always part-time. But when I was on my own, I said, you know what, dude, I could do whatever I want. Like, it doesn't matter, you know? And I've always wanted to be full-time in comics. So in 2016, I made a dedication to myself. Or it was like 2014, I think. I made a dedication, and I said, you know what? Every day I'm going to do something towards inking and getting myself to that goal where I'm going to be in comics full-time. I'm going to break into the mainstream because I'd always been independent.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm going to break in, I'm going to get in there, and I'm going to do something. And so every day I was inking. I used YouTube as exposure platform. And then one day I get an email, and it's from Meredith Finch. Said, hey, Dave saw your video and wants to know if you're available to ink. Wow. And I thought I was being punked, you know? It's like, nah, this can't be real. So I thought about sending back a pretty, witty, something stupid and email response. But I thought, nah, what if it is?
I don't believe you.
I know. I was like, nah, you ain't fooling me.
This couldn't happen to me.
And so I was like, you know, I'll write back seriously and just in case. And I wrote back, and they asked for my phone number, and I thought, oh my God, I'm stupid. I'm giving out my number. And my phone rings, you know, it says Canada, a number from Canada. I'm like, oh, I know Dave's in Canada. Maybe. Mm-hmm. And so I made a video right after that phone call of when Dave Finch called me up, and we had like a 2-hour conversation and talked. And there's a video on my on my YouTube channel that says dreams come true or something like that, or your goals can happen or something. And I was like fanboying out, man. I was so excited and happy, and it was really neat, you know, getting to talk to him, you know, and to hear him compliment my work. Like, that's all he was doing. It was just like he was so impressed with my inks. And it was crazy.
I'm glad that you offered on the campaign just as pencils, though. I think, you know, you don't need anything more than that. You know, the pencils, I wish I would see more of this. Yeah. You know, just the pencils reproduced. In fact, I would like to see a comic, nothing but pencils. And I know that's been done, but
yeah, there's comics out there.
Yeah, it's out there. And I mean,
I buy them. I buy quite a bit of, but yeah, I mean, there's just something about the raw pencils. There's energy in the illustration.
There's energy, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about on inks, because you being an inker, it lives or dies with the inks in sequential artwork, I feel.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Like, be kind to your inker, man. You know, there's some guys out there, I've worked for some pencilers, don't respect inkers. And I'm like, dude, we can make or break your pencils. You know,
Oh, that's
you better
right.
respect me.
You bet.
Yeah, yeah. It's like think about it. I mean, it's like when
And
you go.
part of that is keeping that energy and that life and that gestorial energy or whatever still going, right?
Yeah, there's. I mean, I'm not inking anymore. I'm not freelance inking anymore.
Yeah.
But there are people who I won't name because it's not cool to like say it. But they're in
Right.
Comicsgate. They're new creators. You know, we're all learning new creators. They went out and hired a really talented penciler. And this guy just did an amazing job, delivers the work, and then they go out and they get it inked, and the inker destroyed it. But people don't seem to mind. Like viewers and fans are all like, "Oh, this is great. They're raving because it's so good pencils that you could.
Right.
It still carried those inks." But I look at it and I just like, oh my god! I'm like, dude, I wish I had the time. I would even
Well,
ink
I
it for
thought
free.
that about
You know?
Vince Coletta, with over Jack Kirby or some of the, Thor
Oh
stuff.
yeah, yeah. There's
It's,
tons of
pretty
professionals
weak,
that.
but we weren't on like a monthly schedule like him. I
Yeah.
mean, I get it. He got the work done, and sometimes, and tight. Have you ever been on the little Jimmy? We need this by tomorrow
Dude.
deadline.
Yeah, I wish they had given me "we need this by tomorrow." They were like, "Dude, where were you 2 days ago? This was we need this yet 2 days ago." Every job I got was because their inker, their regular scheduled inker, couldn't make the deadline, was falling behind. So they knew I was fast, and I mean they knew I worked with guys like Finch and stuff. So I was getting stuff left and right. I mean, I was inking about 2 pages a day just to be able to pay bills. Like when you're an inker, I mean, really, most inkers were doing it for the love of the medium, and we take pride in our work. A lot of inkers take pride in their work, but that's why you see some inkers with jobs that they were, it can break you to the point where you just go, well, I just need the paycheck, and they're just slapping inks out there. So that could be why you see a lot of crappy inks over some really good stuff, because the page rates are so low.
Right. Well, how do you keep the energy though going with your inks?
I think it's my pride. You know, I think honestly, OCD is been beneficial to me. I can't let anything go out there I with my
I
name on
know
it.
I have that a little bit too. I was hyperactive and took Ritalin, when I was
Yeah.
in grade school, and
No,
so your attention, your detail attention, you don't it's never done, right?
yeah.
In a way.
The thing too is where luckily, I mean, I've been inking for so long. I got to the point where I could ink fast enough where I could make the deadline, but still give them something that I could be proud of. And then, of course, there are some projects out there where I've had more time I could ink, and you can see it in my work where you go, whoa, this is just so different than what he was doing on a series, because when you're on a series, you're just, page after page after page, that issue's done, next issue, page after page, and you're just cranking this stuff out.
But besides yourself, what's some of your favorite inkers?
Oh
Joseph
man.
Rubenstein?
No, I'm sorry,
No?
Joe. I didn't like Joe's inks at all.
Yeah.
But I think because I was introduced to them over Del Keown, and I have a certain like style that I think Del's work should be inked in. In my opinion, I think what works best for his work. And honestly, I think it's Del Keown. I think Del's the best over his own work. But yeah, Joe Rubinstein, I don't know.
I was just he was the first name that came to my
Oh,
mind.
like Tom Palmer is really
Yeah,
good.
Tom Reimer was
Terry
good at.
Terry Austin, over John Byrne was
How about
incredible.
how about Klaus Janson?
Klaus Janson, no. I mean,
No?
and I'm so sorry, fans out there and people with
Yeah.
Klaus, but what I didn't like was Klaus Janson turned every bit of artwork into Klaus Janson artwork.
Well, yeah,
He didn't know how to harmonize with the pencil.
Ernie Chan.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think Ernie Chan was good as an artist, but when he was inking John Buscema, like it didn't feel John Buscema.
It became Ernie Chan.
It became Ernie Chan.
Yeah. Now, should an inker do that? To me, I think you should enhance, but it should still remain the inker should make the host look good, make the
Yeah,
penciler look good,
we're
and
backup
not
singers.
necessarily overshadow.
Yeah, we're backup singers. We had harmony.
Yeah.
We got to we had some
But
style,
you're the
some
one
flavor. But
solidifying the image. You're the last draft.
well, yeah, that's true as far as the line art goes. I mean, the colorist technically is the last.
Well, right,
but
and I've seen that in CG too, and in fact, I've heard some artists rail about it.
yeah,
That I did this piece and it wasn't color good. They got a
That-
bad colorist on it.
and
That
that's
can
what
make
I
you look bad too.
and that was why I mentioned like within CG about the lack of inkers, and it's only because there's a lot of new
Please,
creators,
Shadow.
a lot of new creators that are coming. Oh, Shadow's leaving. Sorry, Shadow. The new creators that are coming in, I think, are so excited to get their project out that they're taking work from anybody that they can get their hands on. I mean, just starting out, which I get. Get your book out there. That's great, and then you build it as you go. But if you're making the investment to hire, I mean, a really skilled artist, you should do the same and have the same respect for the art in the inks phase and the colorist phase.
Well, I can tell Tom Palmer inks most of the time, and just the way I do with it's facial recognition, and that's why I have a problem with Spider-Man, because there's no face.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's
Yeah.
kind of generic. I need to see 9 times out of 10, unless it's Gil Kane, which he has the elbows and the knees and certain poses, you can kind of tell Gil Kane.
Yeah, I love Gil
He's so
Kane's work,
distinctive.
man.
I mean, there's some like Gene Colan, so distinctive
Yeah.
the way he draws. It's Gil. If you know Gene at all, I mean, there's just certain artists that are so unique that you can go, yeah. That's
Gil Kane. Yeah.
yeah. But most of the time, if I'm recognizing a certain artist, it's by the way they do or an inker. I might not recognize the penciler, but I can recognize the inker. One of my favorites, Terry Austin.
Yeah, that's where I got to the point where I got into comic books really, really late because I grew up poor. I didn't know comic books existed. Right. My sister had adopted me, and she and I, we were still very poor. And then later.
Now, what do you mean your sister adopted you? Kind of adopted and raised you?
Yeah, adopted and raised me.
Okay.
My sister.
So we have that in common, you and I, and Shadow, because we're all adopted.
Wow.
That's why my
neat.
real birth sister
Yeah.
contacted me, earlier this year. And I found out because most of my adopted family died off from COVID or other things last year. I had 2 uncles and an aunt pass away last year. So as that family was dying out, now I'm introduced to my biological family. My mother's still alive, and I got to see pictures of her. And I'm like, wow, mind blown,
Wow. It was like me. Like, I mean, growing up, I didn't really know my mom, but we had a pretty estranged relationship, but we're starting to mend it now. Like I'm in my late 40s. She's she's in her 70s and late 70s, and I mean, it's never too late.
Maturity comes at different ages.
Yeah, I think
different types of maturity.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, my mother had an addiction. My father, and it took over their lives, broke the family apart and things. But it was, I saw the worst of it. I saw the worst of what an addiction can really do, and I lost a lot of childhood, and so when my sister got married, she married somebody who was an entrepreneur, was doing pretty well. They started up a business. We're doing very well. We moved into a nicer neighborhood. We moved into a middle-class neighborhood. And I got to meet all kinds of kids, and one of them, my friend, became my best friend, one of my best friends. He was into comic books and D&D, and he had Nintendos, and he had a CD player before anybody. Oh, the Red Cup Club right here. Here we go.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Breaking up the fancy China.
Oh, yeah, fancy China. Well, I heard it preached once. I would rather be tooth chunk, you chew on plastic, right? So like really worn Tupperware used every day.
Yeah.
Instead of the finest china that's put up and never used.
Well, I mean, Fortunately now, I mean, Anna and I are doing very well. I mean, we're doing okay. You know, we're not. I'm not a billionaire, but we've
Now,
made some.
does Anna have a job? Does she work
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
the
She
house
works a
as well?
really. She has a great corporate job. She's very intelligent,
Hmm.
and you know, she's.
Well, you leveled up, no doubt. I
Oh
mean,
man, I got lucky. You know, I'll have to tell you guys that story. Well, Anna grew up very religious. Her father's a doctor, and grew up very religious, and
Mhm.
she wasn't allowed to date. I was her first boyfriend at age 22. She was 22 when I met her, and
Wow.
I was the first boyfriend.
Now, how
And
much age difference is there between you?
almost 20 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Well,
And
her
her
father.
father didn't say predator.
No, because he was 42 when he married her mom. She was 18.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
yeah, he was
Wow.
a doctor. He got young, and her mom, Anna's sister, and Anna's mom are all beautiful women. Like, I
I
mean, you see
believe it.
them. Yeah, they get attention
Yeah.
when they're together. You know, and her sister's still unmarried because the sister's just beautiful and very
Yeah, you
successful.
can
So
hook me
she's,
up, right?
yeah, yeah, she's Anna's sister's not really looking to get tied down right away, I
I
guess.
got
But
it. I'm not
you
looking to
know,
get tied down either unless,
but I definitely
they're
got
into
lucky.
that.
I definitely got lucky. I mean, you know, Anna's sweet, innocent. I mean, and to her, marriage is everything. I mean, she takes a lot of pride in you know, her role as a wife.
I can
So
tell.
that
Yeah.
makes me level up. You know, makes me want to be a better husband. You know,
Well,
and
how many
so
times have we been
yeah.
streaming on Topicless and she brings you something to eat?
Oh man, that's one thing that she takes pride in is to make sure that there's a warm meal. You
This
know,
is a stupid
every night
question,
for
but
me.
is she a good
Yeah.
cook?
Oh man, she's incredible.
Yeah.
Her mother is Dominican and came from the Dominican Republic and
Okay.
can cook, man. Like their food is so good. I love going
Mhm.
to my mother-in-law's house. Anna's sister, who's very, very beautiful as well, she is an amazing cook. And then Anna, which is Anna's the baby, and
Yeah.
she's a really, really
You like it a little spicy, don't you?
well. Anna's also Cuban. My father-in-law is Cuban. He's from Cuba.
Mhm.
Um, and so he met her mom in the Dominican Republic. So she's Anna wants to she loves her heritage. She wants to learn from both sides. So
Right.
she makes Cuban and she makes Dominican food. I prefer Anna's Cuban food over her Dominican food more, just
Mhm.
because I have her mom who makes the Dominican food, and I'm like, I'm like, why get the clone? You know, when I get the original. No, I'm just
Right.
kidding, Anna. No, Anna's really good. Honestly, I don't think Anna's made anything I didn't like. You know, and um, it was really good. But it's a bad
Which do you
combination though.
prefer, the Dominican food or the Cuban?
Oh
Or have you
man,
had enough to compare?
I think I've had enough of both. You know, it's been quite a while now.
Mhm.
That honestly, I have Cuban dishes that I like that she makes, and Dominican dishes that she makes that I like that I don't think I would say. I think they're both incredible food. You
Yeah.
know, I
Now,
I
what
don't
is your
know.
own background, Jimmy? You're
My
Cuban? You
no,
got some
I'm
Cuban there?
no, I'm mestizo, and what mestizo is European mixed with indigenous Native American. That's why I look.
Okay.
That's why people just think I'm Mexicans because I have Native American. But then if you see
Right.
my father, my father and you and my father look a lot alike. Like
Yeah.
you know, my dad looks like a white guy. You know, he walks
Yeah.
around and people start talking to him in English. He answers in Spanish because he really doesn't speak English that well. And when he starts talking Spanish, people are like, "Whoa," you know. And then
Now, you speak Spanish, right? So you're bilingual?
no, I understand Spanish, but I can't speak it. That's why everybody makes fun of me in the chat. Is
Oh, okay.
because I can't speak it, but I understand it because my dad only spoke Spanish,
Mhm.
and my mom learned Spanish, and she knew how to speak Spanish growing up in Texas. You know, where almost everybody here in Texas, even the Asians, they speak
Yeah, you're
Spanish.
located in Texas now, aren't you?
Yeah, in Texas, I mean, pretty much Spanish is everywhere. I mean, it's the second most common language in the world.
Yeah.
So it's and Smoking
Where
Ray
you're
says, huh?
where you're at, have you seen an influx of migrants coming through?
Yes, yes. We cannot keep those people from Washington and Californians out of Texas. I'm telling you, man, we should have built that wall around California and just kept those liberals out, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
No, you mean the
Well, I
border.
mean, they're trying to flip the state, brother. I mean,
Dude,
they've
they
got
are.
with
They,
DeSantis down Florida. There's no chance of that right now, but they're
yeah.
really trying to flip Texas. If they ever flip Texas and Florida, it's over with. You know, as far as
They flipped Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas
I
is
did, yeah.
so liberal. It's so liberal. It's no longer. I mean, we're a red state, but not Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but the great thing is though, a lot of these big companies have come and brought their have come in and taken up residency here in Texas. They moved their businesses to Texas, so the economy in Texas is improving, which is really good for a lot of us here in Texas. But it's also brought in people from Washington, people. Not that I have anything against people in Washington, but people in California. And it's bringing in people that are that aren't used to the fact that we're a red state, and they're.
Yeah.
I walk into my library now, and I like to go to the library. I like to read old books, and when I go in the library, it's Pride Month stickers all over the place.
Yeah.
All the employees are white with pink hair, and both the men and women. And I went, what happened to all my Latinos that were in here? And like, hey, fiesta,
Well, that's
and
equal representation for you.
yeah. And so it's changing, and it's a little scary. I mean, today, there was a guy that I was overhearing these people have a conversation that they're like, so did you see so and so in the meeting today at work or whatever? He or she announced they're transitioning into whatever.
Oh God.
And they're like, yeah, I was so proud of him or her or whatever. And I was just kind of overhearing like, wow, okay. Why did they have to announce it to everybody at work? It's like you do you. You don't need to make a show out of it for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, you grew up with a mixture of people not thinking anything about,
Yeah.
So why have you joined a racist comic creating, CG movement?
Oh wait, say that again. I'm sorry. I was reading Smoking Ray's comment. He's like, he said, isn't that Mexican, Jimmy? Native mixed with Spanish or European? Almost. Yeah, almost. Mexican isn't a race though. Mexican is a nationality. That's the one thing people get confused about.
Dillard says, shut up, Rex.
Yeah.
I was just asking Jimmy, which you slyly glossed over. So all that, you grew up around a mixture of people, not thinking about race and everything. Why did you join CG, which is clearly racist?
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you racist? Are you a racist now?
That's the like the most common jokes I get when I'm on CG Kings. It's usually like racial jokes or my height, right? I mean, those are the ones that I've had to put up with, And then I get people are like, why did you join CG? They're racist. I'm like, just don't watch Kings. Don't watch me on Kings. But no, but honestly, I mean, it's. I think what happens is I think they'll call you whatever they need to call you to try to break your spirit. And what's happened with CG is just owned it and run with it. Where they started calling us Comicsgate because they're like, oh, you're gatekeeping. So Comicsgate ran with that. We're like, okay, call us Comicsgate, then that's what we are. We're Comicsgate, but we're not gatekeepers. And I haven't met anybody who's racist in Comicsgate. And most of the people, to be honest, that I run into in Comicsgate are really cool people. I mean, I don't know everybody, so that's the only reason I'm saying most. But to be honest, I mean, people I know, they've all been great, man. I really like them.
Yeah, I haven't had, any problems, but then I'm whiter than white bread,
No, yeah. I mean, I was like, I don't know where the glare that's brighter, the reflection off that pane glass window in your shower back there or off your skin. I mean, it's
right, exactly.
Both reflecting light pretty well.
I'm darn near transparent.
I don't know. Like, wow.
But no, but I mean, if you're white heterosexual male clinging to your guns and your Bible, you're probably, a proud boy. You're racist. You're probably I mean, according to the propaganda out there, Jimmy,
what's
they're gunning for me, and all I want to do is stay home and make comics.
what's crazy is Texas is primarily a red state. You know what I mean? You
Mhm.
know, here, I mean, Republican, you know, all the way in Texas.
Yeah, not communist
And
yet.
yeah, and we
They're red too.
are,
Yeah.
and we're primarily a Spanish speaking state. We're primarily Latinos, you know, primarily, you know, everybody's from, you know, from the Hispanic community, you
Mhm.
know, out here. And there's a good amount of black in Texas, you know.
Yeah.
So we have a really good mix. I mean, of course, there's I mean, a white group, but we're split almost pretty evenly here in the city that I live in. But in Texas, there's a lot. I mean, it used to be Mexico, so you know, at one point, and I don't get why they say just because, you know, you're Republican that you're racist. Like, have you been to Texas? You know,
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, but I think people have a they don't really, when you think of Texas, you just think of this like white man, cowboy, cattle herder, you know, but that's not true. I mean, there's a lot of Spanish cowboys out here in Texas.
Yeah. I meant to ask earlier, have you seen Cecil? I mean, have you met him at a convention? Because I actually saw a picture of you and him that somebody comped together with a couple of tall guys. You
Yeah.
probably saw that.
Well, I think,
Yeah.
you know, Cecil and I are like the shortest people in Comicsgate, and they were trying to make a debate on who was shorter
Right. Yeah.
in Comicsgate. But no, I've actually haven't met him. I haven't even talked to him. We've been on a couple of streams together,
Oh, okay.
and we kind of interact a little there on the panels,
Uh-huh.
but we haven't yet. But he did follow me recently on Twitter, and I followed him back, and
Oh, cool.
so
Yeah.
maybe, you know, maybe I'll get to know him. He seems like a funny guy. You know,
Yeah.
I have a good sense of humor. I did talk with his girlfriend Juju for a little bit on another live stream over with what's his name, the young guy. Ah, God, I forgot his name. The really young kid. He always streams with a blue background.
Did you just go in for a checkup today, or did you get a good report?
Well, I have a lot of doctors. I have a good team of doctors because of I have many different health issues. So
Mhm.
it takes a lot of doctors. Vaughn, thank you. Yeah, when I said the blue background, everybody knows his blue background. Vaughn, I was hanging out on Vaughn's stream, and Juju was there, and she was really cool. You know, she had a really good sense of humor.
Mhm.
And so seeing a lot of doctors, and I went to go see one of my specialists, and I've lost weight, and they're like, yeah, you know, you're losing weight. That's really good. You
Mhm.
know, which is crazy. Science was telling me I was obese. I'm 5'4". I was 170 pounds, and my doctors were like, "You're obese. You need to lose weight. You know, this is also not good for your heart. You know,
Yeah.
having that extra weight on there." And
Well,
I was like,
for every pound you take off, it takes 4 pounds off your knees. Have you ever heard
"Oh
that?
no,
Yeah,
wow,
for every pound that you lose, it actually does take off. And I know that's a thing because I used to drive a gentleman over to the VA over in Memphis, and they actually had that up in the rehab workout room. For every pound you take off, it
wow,
takes 4 pounds of pressure off each knee.
wow." Well, I mean, I wasn't. I don't think. Well, I mean, I wasn't heavy enough, I guess, at 177,
No,
really, but
God, I wish I
um,
would. I'd be a skeleton at 177.
well, I used to work out. I mean, I had a lot of good years. I had cancer as a child, and
Wow.
then my father, I was getting made fun of. And my father had heard that, you know, kids at school were picking on me, knocking off my baseball cap,
That
showing
had
that
to
I
be
was bald.
costly for your parents. I
It
mean, the medical bills and stuff?
Well, we grew up poor, so you know, we luckily we had the government
Okay.
took over and paid for all those medical bills, medical trips, and stuff like that. And otherwise, I mean, my parents couldn't have afforded it back then.
I'm
But
surprised you didn't go to Memphis to St. Jude's or to the other childhood cancer thing
oh,
there.
almost, yeah, I was very similar to like St. Jude. It was called Santa Rosa,
Mm.
and that was in here in Texas. And my my
Oh,
father
they do
overheard.
have some good cancer places down there in Texas because I
Oh
had I
yeah,
had a woman I almost married and she lost her left eye to cancer and
wow, oh
she had to
wow,
go down Texas several times. It spread to her
yeah.
colon and then to her lymph nodes, and that was the last I heard of her. You
Oh
know,
no.
it was because of her cancer. She wanted to move to Tennessee where she grew up, and
Yeah.
she wanted me to go with her, and I was like, well, I've got two aged parents I have to take care of, and I can't really just take off, So I had to
Wow.
make a decision. It was a hard decision, but she had a rare form of cancer. It started in the tear duct and went
Oh
down the
no.
optic nerve and was within a quarter of an inch of her brain before they took the eye out.
Wow.
It was rough for her.
There are so many cancers that exist that I had no idea what that could exist. But when my father had overheard, my father had saw that I was really affected by the way the kids were picking on me, and so my father then took me into my father was a boxer. All my brothers boxed, so they put me in the boxing gym with them, and I
Mhm.
started boxing at a very young age, but wasn't allowed to. My father didn't teach me so that I could ever compete or ever try to make a career out of it like my brothers were doing. But once, like I said, my sister adopted me. Once I was older, at that point, I decided I wanted to get in tournaments. So I fought in tournaments.
How old were you when you were adopted?
I was about 13 years
Okay.
old, 12 or 13.
Well, how
I
did you
was,
take that?
no, I was so happy. I was so happy to get out of the house where, my mother and father would constantly just beating each other up, tearing each other apart. Police were
Wow. Yeah.
always called to the scene, to the house. My father was a boxer. He beat up 5 guys
Wow.
in our front yard, and
Were they
embarrassed them.
cops?
No, it was just neighborhood guys that were
Okay.
having a party real late at night. He went over there and told them to lower the music, and they didn't. They started talking shit to my dad, and he took on 5 dudes, and
Wow.
he beat them all up. And then the police were all out there. My dad got arrested for beating up 5 guys, and but that was a regular thing. It was a regular thing. That's the only life I knew. Was the type of violence. And so I was happy. I was real happy to get out of it, get out of there, and then. But as a teenager, I wanted. It's all I really knew how to release stress was in boxing. That's all I knew. So I started boxing. I was in tournaments and doing really well.
How do you overcome childhood trauma?
Well, I mean, I took on like a sport, the boxing. I did that, but
That was a good outlet.
well, I mean, I hate to say that I disagree because some people it might work for them, but for me
Mhm.
personally, it didn't work because all it did was it built up it built up more aggression, and then on top of that,
Mhm.
I learned a skill. So I mean, the second that anybody got in my face, we're gonna throw punches. I mean, that's how I grew up. Was you don't back down, you handle your business, and you handle it with your fist. And I got in a lot of trouble, and I was a teenager getting in a lot of trouble, and thankfully, when my sister and I moved into a nicer neighborhood, I met kids who had comic books, video games, and I was about 18 or 19 when I fought my last tournament, and I discovered comic books and I discovered art. I didn't know I could draw. I started drawing and went, oh my God, this is what I want to do with my hands. I want to draw. I don't want to punch faces. I don't want to be breaking ribs. I want to be drawing. This is what I'm meant to do. And when I'm drawing, I'm in a whole nother like world and zone. Like there's no
But
stress.
you broke in with your inks, right?
No, I broke in as a penciler.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you? Okay.
Yeah, I broke in the industry as a penciler, and I found a whole new outlet, a whole new craft that I think saved my life. It kept me from, just being angry, all the time. And as a child, I mean, I didn't realize it that I had been built up so much anger towards my parents that
Have
as
you
an
let go of that anger, you think?
Oh yeah, now, yeah. I mean, and I didn't even have to dye my hair pink to do it. No, I just decided that, I think one day I grew up and I realized, what was going on with me. I was having all these different emotions and feelings and stuff,
Mhm.
inside, and it was anger turns into depression. If you
Yeah.
bottle up anger, I mean, I'm not trying to give people, mental advice or therapy, but
Well, anger just stirs the pot, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah,
you're just, and it seems like you depression is one area that you always wind up with
yeah.
with anger. Yeah.
Well, I was a teenager, and like I said, I fought in a tournament. I was doing really well, Then I hit depression. Depression just hit me. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to leave the house. And then I had just gotten married, and I was about to have a son. And my my ex-wife is the one that said, hey, I think you should, your drawing is the one time that you're happy. It's when she goes, I can tell the days that you draw something because you're just like, you're lit up.
What were the early Jimmy Reyes drawings like?
Oh my
What
God.
did you draw?
A lot of like Youngblood characters.
Oh, okay. So you went straight to the superhero, or
That was all I knew. The only two comics I owned for a couple of years was Wildcats #1 and Youngblood #1. And someone's mother had bought that for me. My friend's
well,
mother.
where did Conan come in?
Well, that wasn't until years later.
Okay.
I was already a professional when I discovered Conan.
Okay.
But I started off right off the bat. Like my first portfolio, I was drawing like the Youngblood characters. I was drawing out of the comic book because that was all that I knew. But right away, before I had even broken in, I started making up my own characters. I made up all these different like gunslinging characters because it was the 90s and John Woo was all in the theaters, and I loved the John Woo flicks. And I was making up all these great characters. So right away, I knew that I think, well, I mean, I didn't realize it then, but I think my path was already there where I was like, I like creating stuff. I'm creative. I don't want to make money for a company. I don't want to.
Right. You like to world build and work
like
on
to
your
world
own
build,
IPs.
make my own. Yeah, but I didn't know you can make
What's
a
on
business
your
out
cap?
of it.
Is that one of yours?
No, this is Carhartt. It's a real tractor contractor kind of work. Carhartt.
Oh, okay.
Oh man,
Okay.
I got a million of these things. I should be sponsored by these guys. Check it out.
I think that's what you need on the campaigns. Dragon Rage cap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So,
Yeah. Now I noticed on your campaign, it's very simple. You got like, you did like 4 covers for that, like a wraparound. I mean,
yeah.
you're not. I mean, you're almost a one-man army. On your project.
If I could
I know you
write,
got a colorist, you got a letterer, you got Eric Weathers as a letterer, and you got a couple Finch covers.
I know how to letter. I know how to work Adobe Illustrator. I started my job was, like I mentioned before, I had always done comics part-time because my ex-wife felt really embarrassed of it, what the pay was for it.
Yeah.
Where it was
That sounds like Stan Lee. He said he would go to parties and go, "Oh, well, what do you do for a living?" And he'd say, "A writer." "Oh yeah, what do you write?" And it would, fiction. "Oh yeah, what kind of fiction?" And he's like, "Spider-Man." And they're like, "Oh
yeah,
or whatever." Once they found out it was comics, they didn't want to talk to him.
We'd be at family outings and people, would ask me, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And my ex-wife would interrupt and go, "He's a drug dealer." And she do,
and that's why she's an ex.
Yeah, she was really, really embarrassed of it. But so I worked as a graphic designer. I was in marketing, worked as a graphic designer, and then I was a web developer.
There's a lot more money in that, isn't it?
At the time in the 90s, it was big bucks.
But wasn't it high pressure? Stressful?
Back in the 90s, I think I remember it being stressful. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't. I mean, I enjoyed what I was doing. I don't remember.
Like marriage.
Yeah, it's like I think it was. I don't know, but apparently I've had really good therapy. I've been able to let it go. I've already forgotten the alcohol worked. I had too many blackouts. I don't remember. But no, so I really liked it. I mean, it was back in the days where this was the 90s and I was making 90,000 a year. It was good. It was good to me.
I'm not white anymore. I'm red.
Oh yeah, now you're red. Now you're reflecting your shirt. You're just that's not the blood underneath the skin. That's the reflection off the t-shirt.
That doesn't make sense, Jimmy. It should have been doing it all along.
Yeah,
I didn't change my lighting.
So I had always been doing comic books part-time and had done graphic design, and that's where I learned how to use Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator. So when it comes to creating a comic book, I know all the production side. I know how to paginate my own book. I know how to lay out my own book. I use Adobe InDesign. I use Adobe Illustrator for vector for all my logos and anything that needs to be scaled any larger, or for lettering. I mean, I know all this stuff. I can do it, but time is where I'm limited. So I'm outsourcing where either I'm weak and don't know, or where I don't have the time, to handle that particular skill. So I hired a writer because I'm not I'm not skilled as a writer. I'm not. I don't think just anybody can write. I mean, it's a craft that you really have to learn. So I hired a writer, fantastic writer who knows. He grew up with D&D. He loves fantasy stuff. And Eric Weathers is my letterer. I am going to have Eric letter. The other thing is I hired Andrew Dahlhaus this time around to color my covers, but I'm going to color the interior because I was efficient and
You
familiar
are going to
enough.
color the interior?
Yeah, I'm coloring the interior. I'm doing it now.
Okay.
The thing
Okay.
was, the plan was I thought about coloring it, but I
Mhm.
had never colored a comic book before, and I'm efficient in Photoshop, so I thought Photoshop's where I was going to go.
Are you fairly quickly at it? Quick?
No, I'm not
Yeah.
fast enough at it yet, but I fiddled around in Photoshop trying to color, and oh my God, I wrecked my artwork. It was so bad. Then I thought, well, I'm working in Clip. Why not just do it in Clip? And oh my God, dude, Clip is so easy. It simplifies so much. It's so fast and efficient. Oh yeah.
Well,
Pagination.
how did the box come about, Jimmy? The box that you designed.
Well, I luckily for me, I've grown up here in Texas where, like on Kings, they'll make joke and either call me a landscaper or a gardener, or ask me if I fix roofs and stuff, right?
Oh my God.
But
Racist.
but what's so I know racist. But what's so great about the Hispanic community is that these people that are all around me and even people in my family are entrepreneurs. They own their own business, and so everybody's business minded. Regardless of how many jokes you can make out of it, but they're business minded and they're hard working. So my family owns a flooring company, and so growing up around everybody who's been entrepreneurs, I knew I want to own my own business. And once I've learned that the best way that you can become wealthy is to own an IP, an intellectual
Wasn't that
property.
pretty much Image's model
Yeah.
in the early 90s?
Yeah. Walt Disney.
And Walt Disney. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, Walt Disney owns an IP. George Lucas.
What's your favorite Walt Disney movie? I mean, traditionally done. I think mine's Jungle Book because it's just such a masterpiece.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I like
Wow.
Robin Hood that came out too.
Oh man, when it comes to Walt Disney, I think I'm still like into the classics like Snow White, Bambi,
Yeah.
stuff I saw as a
Well,
kid.
that was the first full-length animated movie.
Yeah, I mean the animation was incredible. I mean they actually brought in a live, deer, venison or whatever into the studio and actually referenced and drew deer. And when I heard about that and saw that, I was like, I'm referencing and gonna experience.
I wonder if they had
everything
to
I'm
do
drawing.
that with Bambi.
Oh, that's what I was referring to. Bambi. Bambi was the
Okay.
one that they brought in all the animals and stuff that where the animators could actually experience how the animals moved and how they gestured. So that's what I do. Like I go outside and I'll look at trees, I'll study cars, and I actually just pay attention to my environment. I'm very observant, and I've been told that since I was a kid. I remember doctors would tell me like, "Wow, you're so observant." As a little kid, they would tell me, "Wow, you noticed that," and then it wasn't until I got older that they said, "Hey, you're in your 40s. It's time for you to go see an eye doctor. Have you seen eye doctors?" And I was like, "No." And so my primary doctor said that we need to schedule an optometrist. You're way overdue. So I went to the optometrist, and she said, "Holy crap, you're one in 10,000 people that have 20/10 vision." And I went, "Oh shoot, well, how do we fix that?" And she's like, "Fix it. That's the best vision that's out there. That's what it takes to be a sniper."
How do we fix that?
Yeah, I was like, "How do we fix it? What's wrong with it?" And I didn't realize that the world everybody had been seeing the world in 1080p, and here I was in 4K. I could see so much more. I didn't realize that was a real thing, but I could see way more detail in things, and you could see way more detail in my work, or even early on than you can see in most artists. And there were just so many different things. But I think that's what helped me as an inker and my line work. You could see just beautiful line work in there.
Did you
But
just later in life pick up a pencil and start drawing, or is it
yeah,
something you did as a
no,
young kid? Not at all.
no, I never drew as a kid. I didn't even know art existed. I had seen graffito on the side of the wall. I have seen tattoos, but that was the only people that I knew that could draw. I didn't know that there was actual art out there until I was about 19 years old. My
Mm,
friend's mother took me to an art store. When my friend showed me comic books, he was reading all the comic books, and I was just sitting there. And his mother was a professional artist. She really wanted him to draw. He had no interest in drawing. He had tons of art supplies and a drawing table. So while I was waiting for him to finish reading comic books, so we can go watch freaking, go
that's
watch
right.
Mortal Kombat or something. Detective Reyes, yeah. And so I like Psych. I could see everything, but I would doodle on his drafting table and just started drawing from his comic books while I was waiting for him to finish with the comic books so we can go out and do something that I want to do.
Uh-huh.
And he saw what I did, what I drew, and I was about 18 or 17, I think, 17 or 18, and he saw what I did, and he took it to his mom, and his mom said, "Wow." She said, "How long you been drawing?" I said, I never. This is it. I mean, I didn't even know what tools to draw with. I just picked up what he had on his desk and just started doodling. And she said, "Oh my God, I think you have a career in comics." And my friend says, I agree. I think you have a career in comics." And I went, "Okay." And so she said, "Hey, I think she saw that I was a troubled kid. I really had no direction in life. And I think that was her reasoning for taking me to the art store. And also as well, I think she wanted somebody who enjoyed art because her son didn't care for art. Took me to the art store and bought me about $100 in art supplies, in like real art supplies at an actual art store.
Yeah.
And I still remember the name today. It was called Azel's Art, and I think they're still around, and they might be online now. But it was called Azel's Art, and I walked in there, and it was a kind of middle-aged lady who was running the store, and she was showing me art supplies, and I was talking about comic books, all that I knew, and my friend was showing her a comic book, and so she picked my art supplies based on what she thought those artists drew on, which was totally way off, other than she got the pencil right, but not even the right grade of lead, I mean, I think I bought charcoal at one point there. So, I went back home and just started drawing every day, all day. It became my life, and I was obsessed with it. And I got good fast. I got to the point where 6 months later, I landed professional work. And that was just from
Wow.
the way, I think it's just the way that my brain could see
Hmm.
shapes and see
Did you teach
things.
yourself anatomy?
I taught myself anatomy from Rob Liefeld comic books.
Yeah.
So I could mimic Rob Liefeld. I
Okay.
could
No
copy.
feet. No feet. Right.
No feet, no hands, and the biggest chest you could draw, But so I could mimic it right away. And
Yeah.
then, luckily my friend who was there, he was like, no, here. And he started to show me John Buscema, Wolverine. He started to show me Ron Lim on Infinity Gauntlet. Of course, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri on
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Right. Ron Lim, I've got some of his early stuff. He did
Wow.
a mini series, and it's indie. It's called The Privateers, and I'll actually get those and show those on the show tomorrow. I don't. They're
Wow.
upstairs, but yeah, I mean, Ron Lim, and so many. Started Jim Starlin. Started out indie or doing like fan magazines.
Wow. No,
Uh,
I
oh,
was able
another
to.
one, Tom Grummett.
Oh yeah, Tom Grummett too. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like Tom Grummett stuff,
I like
especially
Tom Grummett.
because
Yeah.
I love that he did a lot of fantasy stuff. And that's where I find the Tom Grummett. But you know,
Do you kind of lean towards fantasy? Because I mean, Dragon Rage is kind of like high fantasy, right?
it's high fantasy. Yeah,
D&D.
definitely
Yeah,
D&D.
yeah.
Yeah, high fantasy stuff. Because my first introduction was my friend was a really big D&D nerd. He loved that stuff.
So
And
you're just, I mean, you're focused like on the. Okay, you can get cover A, B, C, D. Fairly simple campaign. You can get all of them. You can get the
Yeah.
four standard ones are an all-in box, and the all-in's going to be delivered in that design box that I know you're
Yeah.
proud of, which is
So
it's right here. But gorgeous looking box. But you're uh, I don't see any tiers. You didn't do any like, okay, you can get a magnet, a trading card, or anything. Is there anything like
well,
that?
this is the thing. Like
Bookmark?
when you're doing a campaign, what I've learned from having only one previous campaign before, is that merchandise is expensive, and merchandise is really hard to sell when you don't have an established IP yet. When you haven't
Hmm.
built up enough of a fan base, they don't have an emotional attachment yet to the characters. So why would they want it on a T-shirt or anything? So I learned to who was it? Was it Edison that said, "Simplify, simplify, keep it simple." So when
Yeah.
it comes to when it came to this campaign, I decided that I want to keep it as simple as possible, and I want to introduce the IP. I want people to first get to know the characters and to find out what the IP is, and then once from there, then let the fan base grow, let the emotional attachment grow, then offer merchandise, and that's when you introduce merchandise later. I think as a business, I think it was a smarter idea for me, and especially because my campaign right now at 30,000, it may
Yeah.
look like a lot,
Right.
but so much has been invested back into the business. Where
Have
at
you
this,
seen Eric July's first? He was talking like 30, 40 something $1,000 to produce a comic book. Like, I think he's talking like a 50-page comic book, which yours is 40, going to be
yeah,
40 pages, but that's not that off. I mean, once
he's
you pay everybody, of course, you're doing a lot of the work yourself.
yeah, he's generalizing. He's trying to give people
He's
he's
generalizing.
trying to give
Yeah.
people just like an idea of how it works. And of course, I mean, there's no way to generalize it because it all changes. There's so many variables in the
Hmm.
way that we creating comic books, from the fact that if you're able to put in enough sweat equity and do the work yourself,
Right.
then you lower the cost, and you can reinvest it. So what I did was I didn't pay myself, I reinvested. And that's where that box came from. So I decided that what I'm going to do is, when I'm building my campaign, was that I was going to shape my campaign based on the backers. I was going to let my backers build my campaign. So I put a basic campaign up on there with basic stuff. And then I waited until after I launched it. And then the feedback I got from backers were saying, well, I want a tier where I want everything and I want one shipping fee.
Mhm.
Can you figure out how much it would cost to ship that, and put that on there with one shipping fee? And it was
Right.
it was really one guy who wrote me and asked me that, and I said, yeah, I'll make that tier for you. We'll put that up there. And I left it up there, and people decided, that there were others that want to back it. So I
Yeah.
put everything into that. Then I decided that, you know what, if people are investing $180 of their hard-earned money, I want them to feel that they get the value, because, I want whenever we make a transaction, like whenever there's a transaction is made whenever you feel that the value of what you're receiving is higher than the cost you are paying. That's when you go, okay, this is worth that much to me. So I thought, all right, they're getting everything in there, all the covers, one exclusive cover, one variant other cover. They're getting a free bookmark. They're getting posters. But you know what? What if I put it in a very custom mailer, which meant less money that I would be taken out at the end. But hey, I'm building a business,
Right.
and I'm going to take less money now so that in the future
Mhm.
I'll have more money to
Yeah,
support
I mean,
myself with.
once you deliver, and I don't
Yeah,
think anybody who's backed you, I mean, you've gotten great support on this, that they know you're going to deliver. But I mean, there has been some big campaigns that haven't delivered, or they've not delivered what
yeah.
they promised, and it's been a bad look. But I do think we are trending upwards. Where do you see CG in the future for this whole indie? Because I think all the momentum, all the thrust is with us right now in
Well,
comics.
I mean, CG is the future. I mean, it's because of CG and because of John Malin, your boy Zach, and
Mhm.
you know, when they brought out, I mean, they were the first big, you know, really big crowdfunded comic book with Jawbreakers. You know, it's because of them that comic books
Well,
are
now,
now.
to be fair, now you had Billy Tucci with She, you had Brian Polito, right, with Lady
Well,
Death and
they
stuff doing Kickstarters.
they weren't. I mean, they're very successful and they're very
They
very
didn't have
great
a
books.
rallying and bringing it together as a group,
They
huh?
weren't
And say,
controversial and have the type of attention that
hmm
Jawbreakers brought
okay,
to the crowdfunding scene.
yeah,
You know, that's when people really took notice. It was a big bang with that,
hmm
and that forced comics into an evolution. You know, it made us rethink about the way that we're doing comic books, how we're distributing, and then of course the fans spoke out. The fans were not going to have it. They were not going to be bullied. They weren't going to be ignored,
hmm
and you know, and it was the fans getting together that also, you know, made that made Comicsgate, and Comicsgate is the future of comics. You know, this is where things are going.
where are we
We're
going to
the
be
one.
in 5 years? You think?
Well, I mean,
Especially with I guess we'll know after the election, but I mean, the economics have gotten pretty bad for some people.
yeah, I mean, oh God, I mean, everything, Bitcoin's dropping. I
I mean,
mean,
we're out there trying to sell a luxury item, are we not?
well, no, you know,
You
this
can
is
live without comics. Your life proves that, right?
well, this is the way I think that we should sell you know, the way people should view the comic,
Hmm
our comics is that when you're establishing a brand, you're creating a brand. So if you think about, you could go out and just buy a plain T-shirt, but yet, like my baseball cap, I could have bought
Oh
a
yeah,
plain
that
baseball
was on
cap.
you made the same
Yeah.
analogy on your
So
most recent video, didn't you?
you need to get your backers. You know, whenever you're bringing your comic book out there, you have to let them know that they're receiving, that the value that they're receiving is worth that amount. You know, because if you think about the things that we're
Mhm.
spending money on, you know, and this goes to what's supporting the economy is the poor. The poor is supporting the economy. That's who's spending money, because the rich really aren't spending money. That's why they're rich, you know. But it's us. Where the poor are the consumer, you know,
Mhm.
and so, you know, you want to make sure that they feel that it's valuable. And if you want something of value, you know, this is what it costs. You know, I mean, you go, you know, you know, if you had the money right now and say you could buy any car, well, a Toyota is just as good as a Mercedes, but the brand, the
Yeah.
reputation, the
Well,
name.
like you said, a $5 T-shirt, you slap Nike on it and sell it for 30.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we're saying. CG is making high quality books, you
Mhm.
know? So if you want high quality, where you know it is people that are passionate about their craft, people that are care about the story, you know, it's characters first. It's for the customer. It's for
What do you say to
fans.
people say that we're pricing ourselves out of business with $25 books or
They're
whatever the
not,
price point is?
I don't think they're true fans or passionate about comic books are the ones that are saying that. I just think it's outsiders looking in going, oh no, I'm not buying the $25. But for those that know, you know, they want quality, you know, and they
Mhm.
realize that, you know what, this is where the good comic books are. This is, it's made by fans, or it's made by professionals who have been in the business long enough, who care about their brand, their reputation. And this is where it's going to attract the
And
true fans.
and one thing, Jimmy, that blows me away. Yeah, it's 80 pages. It's 100. I mean, death is going to be over 300 pages. Nobody in comics has ever done that I know
Yeah.
of. I mean,
When
attempted to do something that large,
I think that
100 pages.
people don't realize when, you know, you think, well, you know, people, you hear somebody go, oh man, they're not going to want to pay $25 for a 20-page comic book, and you go, oh well, my comic is $100. You know, you know, in business you think about what is different, that what you could do different than the others to attract customers. But the higher page count you go, the more expensive it is to print, the more
Sure.
expensive it is to ship. You
Right.
know, how are you going to
Gets heavier.
package this? You know, it's going to, in the end, it's going to cost you more money, and you may end up making less money than you did if you had just kept your comic at 20 pages, $25, and had less backers. You may have ended up making more money that way.
Now, did you say that there was posters on your campaign?
Yeah, I've got 11 by 17 mini posters. So
Okay.
what I used to do, this is what helped me. So when I was a young kid, and I wanted to learn to draw, I would take my favorite artist covers or pages, and I would rip them out, and I would staple them to the wall over my drafting table, so that I would draw and look up and go, nope, not as good yet, and just keep going. Look up, nope, not as good yet, and just kept going. And then I would compare myself to these guys and just kept drawing. Or I'd go, okay, I can draw a face, but how did they do it in the comic book style? How did they simplify it that way? I'd look up and see a Jim Lee drawing. He drew the squinty eyes and the grimace face on every character. So I learned to do that. So it dawned on me, hey, you know what I've always loved? I've always loved to have a poster of a cover that I don't have to tear off my comic book
Right.
to
Yeah.
put it up on the wall.
Sometimes they would print the, on the inside where you could remove the cover or pin up out of the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would deface which that sounds like you didn't have any problem with it. But do you think you would have got into comics? I mean, yeah, there's Alterna, there's other, there's Spawn still at $2.99. A lot of
Yeah.
people think that's expensive. But do you think you would have ever gotten into comics if they were $25 a pop?
Yeah, I mean, it's about the love for the medium, and I love creating characters. I love being a storyteller. I love to tell stories, even when where I'll share with anybody my story of my past, but I will try to make it to a point where it's interesting.
Right.
And I do that. I try to be creative in everything, and I still would have gotten in regardless of price, because the price is irrelevant. It's what I'm trying to let people know. Whatever you price your comic at, that's irrelevant. But the thing is, the value you have to establish and let them know the value that they're getting. So you have to remember that you're building a brand, and the power of a brand can sell that, can sell it, and at $25. So it's important. These guys
look at Coca-Cola. There's a long-standing brand.
These guys who have not fulfilled their books, or who are missing deadlines, or if you don't communicate with your backers, you're not replying back to customer service email, that's all affecting your brand. And it's so hard. It's so hard to shift away from that, because they will always remember that. It's going to be very, very difficult. It could be years before you change and flip your brand. Hyundai was cheap, inexpensive. Honda, cheap, inexpensive cars. So what they decided was, we can't change the brand, because we can't change the opinion of it, because they were always going to be thought of as cheap, inexpensive cars. Honda created Acura, which then was more of a quality vehicle. Hyundai created Genesis, which is more of a quality vehicle out there, and reestablished and shifted their brands. And it's the same manufacturer. It's the same car company. Lexus is a Toyota, guys, but we will pay twice as much for a Lexus, because when you drive up in a Lexus, people go, "Whoa, you're successful." So when you buy a CG comic book, yeah, you pay $25 because it's quality, and you're getting good quality comic books.
Hey, Ryan, and we have also Ryan James in the house, and we also have Jason Bascom.
Hey, Jason. Yeah, he says Jimmy drives a Power Wheel to go pick up Anna.
I don't know. Whoops, I didn't mean to. Well, you're in the. Wow, I didn't know that would do that, Jimmy. That if you were in my seat, on that side, that if I embiggened you, you came. I have to switch it if I want to embiggen myself. I did not know that. I just wanted you looking at me.
Yeah,
you learn something every day on StreamYard, and I know you go through Melon.
Yeah, I use Melon because when you're building a business, save money. There's no need to spend money when you don't have to. So Melon offered me half the price, and I took it. So I said, wherever I can save, and Melon's giving me the same quality. So definitely, but I didn't right off the bat know everything like about business, and things like that. Where I'm now really learning and studying about running my own business. Because if you're serious, I'm not a hobbyist. I'm serious about making comic books, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to retire like Stan Lee, but still make comic books.
Yeah.
Even into my late golden
Now,
years.
you think there's a model there where you can actually earn more money than those early pioneers did, right? I mean, actually help your family along, your bank account along, and
Well,
you think crowdfunding, what
well,
is that?
it's
Is that going, or are we going to have to like go over
no.
to? I mean, Jimmy Reyes has blown it out of and Ethan and others have really shown
Well,
us where the top, and I don't even think we know where the top is yet.
I think people are looking in the wrong direction when you're thinking, well, what's the future? Is it crowdfunding? See, the thing is that's going to make you wealthy, and how you're going to stick around is to create an IP. However,
Mhm.
that IP is distributed, it's going to shift and change throughout the years with technology. You
Right.
know, where I mean, you had to go to moving pictures, you had to go to a theater when Walt Disney started. Then the home video came out, and then after that, we had the internet. Then we have streaming, and so I mean, technology is going to shift and change, but you want to keep your IP relevant, and you want to keep it out there. And so, create an IP. That's how you're going to get wealthy. That's how you're going to make a living. Create an intellectual property. Then, when you make the money, is you license that property out there. So don't be embarrassed about people going, no, no, I'm creating my comic book. I don't ever want it to be a movie. I don't ever want it to be a TV. And then you don't want to be wealthy. You don't want it to live on. You don't want to leave a legacy, because you create an IP. It's okay to license it. That's where the money is. Think
Mhm.
about like think of it as you buy rental homes, right? You buy houses. That's a physical property. Your IP is viewed by law as a physical property, even though it's not tangible. It's created in your intellect. That's why it's an intellectual property. It's in your mind. But you know those physical properties, you rent them out, and you just keep getting that money coming in. So when you license it out, they pay you, man, for toys. But it's up to us. It's hard work right now to
Right.
establish that IP, build that
To,
IP.
yeah, to get that momentum going.
Yeah. Look at Robert
Uh,
Kirkman. How rich Robert Kirkman is now. The guy was from like Kentucky. He
oh
worked at a
yeah.
little comic store or something, and he was following the image guys around. He gave Eric Larson a ride to the airport just so he can get in and get to know these guys. And then once he was there, he's got The Walking Dead. Look at that. Now he's making money by licensing.
The chat's getting hostile. It's talking about a Power Wheel pickup, of
Yeah.
course, for Hannah. But Smoking Ray says you couldn't reach the panel.
No,
The pedal.
I probably couldn't. He's got me on that one. It's all
Well,
right.
Ryan James here, Mr. Octagon himself. I wanted to show you, Jimmy, and I don't even have it keyed up here. This sucks. Okay, here it is. It's under some Hanna Barbera work. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to show you. I don't know if you'd seen some of Ryan's work. He does.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
he's. I don't know if I'd shown you this. He does the pencils on one side. I mean, this is one way he works, but and then the inks on the other. This is a character of mine, Baby's Kiss. He
Oh,
did
well, it's
the
like
same thing with
Jeff
Ratman.
Darrow. Jeff Darrow does that too. Where what
Hmm.
was it? Hard Boiled that he was on, where he wouldn't ink over his original pencils. He would pencil on one artboard, and then he would ink on another artboard. He would lightbox it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different ways you can
So
work, right?
who are these characters that we're looking at?
Well, this is Sea Demon here. That was Baby's Kiss. And then we, on the back wraparound cover, because this will be the front to Devil Flyer 6. I haven't got Devil Flyer prequel out yet. And then we have Sweet Baby again up here. We
Wow,
have
I like that.
we have the motorcyclist back there that you can see. He is a Storm Rider. Then we have Silver Boa there and Bog here.
Wow, I like it. I
Swamp.
love his use of black.
Yeah, yeah, he's really cool on the way he. But now, do you now see? I would do some of my own artwork, and I do. But um, do you ever see a time when you'll be writing and doing some maybe of your own, at least a short story? Because you
I,
license out the writing chores, right? But did you oversee that at all?
yeah, I've outsourced writing to somebody who I knew. You think about like your favorite basketball team. You want the best player in each filling each position. The best one there, make a stronger team.
Right.
So I knew that I'm lacking in writing. But to answer your question, will I see myself writing in the future? I don't know. I don't
Mhm.
think so. I love
Really?
creating stories. I
Mhm.
write them out like a plot, and I hand it to the writer, and
Okay.
I tell them, this is what I want to happen,
You want to
and this is
hit
how I
those
want it.
beats.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then they fill in the gaps for me,
Hmm.
or sometimes I draw out the sequence and
Yeah.
go, "Can you use this in the script?" And that's where I think I have the most difficulty is in some of the dialogue and stuff, and
Hmm.
but
But you know what the beats you want to hit. I
yeah.
mean, you know the pacing of it, right?
Well, I think more in scenes than I do in story, where
Yeah. Do you
there
think cinematically?
I think cinematically, I think visuals, I'm a visual storyteller. So,
Hmm.
but there has to be a story. There has to be reasons why. I don't want a lot of filler and flashy stuff, because I don't want to make what's that guy's name? Snyder. I don't want to make a Snyder
Zack
version
Snyder. Yeah.
of a comic book, like when like Sucker Punch, that he sucker punched the ticket goers, when because I mean I went through there, I was like, whoa, this is flashy. She's fighting a samurai. Oh my god, now she's in World War II, and then I went, but what's the story?
Yeah. It was
What's
all over the place.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
so I
then
don't want
and then they kind of did a cabinet of Dr. Kuguri thing that at the end of it, which is going way back to the
yeah
silent era, it was all in your mind. It was a
yeah
dream.
like was it like they really
Or
didn't
did she really get
did she
lobotomized?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
where they kind of just leave it general and open, but you just go like a lot of that stuff didn't even need to be in the film. Like there was no, it didn't propel anything forward. It
Right.
was just like, so I
Yeah.
don't want to do my version of that because I like Zack Snyder. I'm a visual storyteller where I just go, this is gonna look cool and that'll look cool, but it has to be a reason why. So I have a writer who does that. He's so good where he can I can do all this cool flashy stuff and still have fun with the project, but he's the guy that's really in there going, okay, this is why this is happening, and this piece that you drew here, we're going to use it later on because we're going to build up to that and
Are
come back to
superheroes are
that.
going to survive, you think, or are we going to go
Yeah,
through a time like after World War II in the 50s where uh,
or like the
people were
romance
kind of
novel and
tired
the
of
and the cowboys and the
yeah,
westerns.
they got into to westerns, romance comics, which Kirby and Joe Simon kind of created the genre
Yeah.
for, and then early artists like John Romita Sr. Got into the romance and did a few of those. Even
Oh,
I've seen even John Buscema do some romance.
it's all based on currently what the society is into. What's going on in the world. I think what
Right.
people can relate to at the time. It'll always cycle back around.
Well, I
So,
mean, the reason I ask that is that it seems like they're beating a dead horse like 10 years ago with this superhero stuff in the movies.
well, I don't think people have superhero fatigued. I think what people are tired of are rushed projects out there, and it just happens to be superhero stuff. So,
Yeah.
what happened was Marvel struck gold, and
Or
what
they don't want to spend the money, Jimmy, like Wonder Woman
well,
number 84, where um, you don't have good CG at all. You would think it would get better and better, and it seems to be getting worse and worse.
well, I think what happened with that was when with Iron Man and early MCU.
Hmm.
Hollywood saw that Marvel struck gold and there was a gold rush. Everybody wanted to get in on the superhero thing.
Right.
And then what happened was, I mean, sales are going down, ticket sales are going down. I think they're rushing projects. And then, of course, the writer strike happened. So some of the later stuff now is, they're just kind of, it's suffering all in there with the special effects and budgets are smaller, the economy. I mean, there's quite a bit going on right now, but I
Sure.
don't think there will ever be. I don't think superheroes will ever be forgotten. Westerns are still around. We still have Western comics. We still have romance comics out there.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just, they're just not as common,
Right.
out there. I mean, look at Archie Comics, it's still
Well, Love
surviving.
and Rockets was one for a long
Love and
time.
Rockets was incredible. Terry Moore, his is more of like a romance, kind of, comic book with Strangers in Paradise,
Right. Right.
and so I mean they're still there, they're still out there, but it's whatever the current trend is, whatever's currently I think going in the world is what's going to be more up in the front. I think there was a big interest in superheroes, but it's shifting now. Fantasy is becoming the bigger genre right now. I mean, it's all.
Yeah. I mean, you talked early on. I want to bring dragons into CG. Why dragons? Why the D&D type take on it? Is that just what you're mostly interested in?
We were interested in superheroes because I mean, back in the old days, if you think about, the storytellers in ancient Greece, they would talk about these mighty Olympians, which were the first superhero team. They were the original, and those were the stories that people were telling, and people loved them. So we have that we've always had a fascination to have the power of a god, and that's what superheroes are. I mean, to have the power of a god. So what else is the most destructive force in the world? What else is powerful? A dragon. A dragon is I mean, magnificent. It's beautiful. It's mysterious. It's powerful. It's ancient. And I mean, it's almost eternal. And
did it ever exist?
Imagine if you
was there ever a dragon?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
I know there was flying dinosaurs, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what where dragon. I think dinosaurs and dragons are the same. But imagine if you had the power of a dragon, and that's why I decided I was going to bring dragons to CG, is because I'm going to give these characters the power of a dragon. Imagine yourself being powerful. I think that's what we all admire, and if we, I think we can live vicariously through these characters and imagine ourselves being powerful as a dragon. I think that's going to make.
Do they morph? Do they like Hulk out? I mean, they're not like that, right? I'd love to do. I have not done on a comic yet, but I would love to do a metamorphosis cover.
Well,
I love. Does anybody metamorphosize into something?
In the world of Dragon Rage, humans. There's a race of humans called Dragari.
Okay.
And the ancient times, Dragari would. I hear music. Is that me? Oh,
that
sorry.
must be you.
It's my wife forgot her phone here at her desk. Anna left her phone there. It's going off. I was like, I've never heard that sound before. So the Dragari in the ancient times would have these dragons that were about to expire, and so then they would willingly give their rage to the Dragari and creating this mighty warrior, mighty warriors, and someone eventually got. So then they would take on the features of a dragon, but the more rage that you consume from the dragon, so you get all the dragon's rage, but you just tap into 10% of it because that's all the human body really and human mind can control. But the more you tap into it, the less human you're like, more dragon-like you become. So they can metamorphose to a point where they can awaken, or they can, we call it, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank in my own book of what we decided to call it. Well, we'll just say they awaken. We'll just say that. And so what they do is then they give into the rage, and they basically become like a Sith Lord. Like they're just full of hate, evil.
Okay.
And they're no longer, they've lost their human side, their humanity, and they're powerful. It's way more powerful than the regular Dragar. He's using 10%. They're full on using the full rage. So they're way more powerful, but they're also, full of a lot of, they're very dangerous and very evil.
One of the storylines that I was just saying that I was rewatching the Shield, the first season of Shield, and they had a storyline where they had, and it was in several episodes where they had, they were looking for Asgardian artifacts, and it was a staff that broke into 3 pieces, and it was a berserker rage that they would have a berserker rage come over them when they had these staffs, I guess.
Well,
it would focus their hatred, like you said, or their anger.
The Aztecs had Jaguar Knights, and Jaguar Knights were really feared because they felt that Jaguar Knights had no fear, and they would go in like a berserk kind of rage. There's also the Vikings. They felt that could go into berserk rage.
Because you've got 2 kingdoms going against each other.
Well, this is what happens in Dragon Rage is that the Dragari had all the dragon rage,
Mhm.
and there was an army built. So there was a man king a king who decided that he was going to turn against the dragons, and he was going to hunt down, kill all the dragons, take their rage to build an army of Dragari. Then once he had this army of Dragari around, he then realizes that he learns that he could, man, he's not a Dragari, but he could, by using magic, he can take all the rage from the Dragari, build, and build a crown of fire, rule over and be the most powerful being in the planet. So now he is hunting down and killing off Dragari. So that's where we pick up in Dragon Rage. It's like the Catholic Church and the
Now,
Crusades.
did you, or the Knights Templar maybe in little of that?
Definitely,
Crusade, yeah.
because what happened with the Crusade was they worked for the church. They worked
Mhm.
for the Vatican,
Yeah.
and then what happened was eventually the church turned, hunted them down, disbanded them, turned and hunted them
Yeah,
down.
and that's something how we'll use you while you're useful, and then they kind of turn on their own, right?
Yeah,
Um,
and any good story is based in reality. You take things from reality,
Mhm.
you exaggerate, you glorify it, and it makes the story more interesting. Where people go like, "Oh, that could happen," because it did happen in our history.
Yeah. Now, are you picking up from your previous work in Dragon Rage? Is this a total? Is it
Yeah.
incorporating that? Is it a total separation from it, or what?
Well,
Where?
we're not we're
How
not
is this connected, if at all, with the old work that you've done on Dragon Rage?
we're not picking up from the last Dragon Rage. This is
Okay.
a reimagined, but it is going to cycle back around where that issue will eventually fit in the storyline.
Okay.
And so we're not totally disregarding that story. It'll eventually tie back in, but we're
Mhm.
starting it anew to
You may
reestablish the
bring it
lore.
back in a different manner.
Yeah,
So,
we're going to tie it back in. I mean, Dave
yeah.
Philpott's so creative. He's already worked that out, how he's bringing it back in. And
Okay.
his ideas, I just go, holy crap. Like he's
So,
really good.
when do you think for filming will be in December, November, late November?
Most likely like January.
Okay.
I was supposed to fulfill scheduled in February. I mean, in November. I was supposed fulfillment for,
Okay. So you're
scheduled
not
for
that
November.
far off the mark.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I lost 2 months and a half due to my health issues.
Right. Yeah.
And then afterwards, I decided I wanted to start over because I don't know what happened, but I got better. I hit a growth spurt in my art, and my artwork just is 10 times better than it was. So I decided I'm going to redraw it. And I knew that it was going to take more time, knew it was more work for myself, more stress for myself, but I felt that, I'm establishing a brand, I'm building a company, and I want my backers to get the most for their money. I want them to go, this was worth it,
Right. Right.
and it's worth the wait, So all that, is a factor. And then trying to go to print during the holidays, it would delay it, and shipping during the holidays. So it's best that I just go ahead and just say in January.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is not that far, but I work every day on my project, every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to ask you, what's a work day? I mean, how many hours do you think you spend working on your project?
Due to my health, I can't pull the 14 hours straight anymore. I used to work 14 hours a day
Damn,
straight.
I don't see how you and Luke Stone. He's like, yeah, I'm 15 hours a day, every day. I'm like, damn, how do you do that?
I divide it up now. Now,
Yeah.
I will sit for about 3 hours. And that's really more than I'm supposed to, but I'll sit for about 3 hours, and then I get up and I go walk for 15 minutes. And then I come back, and then I draw again for about another, like maybe hour and a half or so.
So after this interview, you're going to walk it off.
Well, actually, yeah, I have to leave here in just a few minutes. Yeah, I do my walks, but that's what I do, and it also helps you with stress too, because it raises serotonin level and exercise, and it's good for you. It's good you need to get the blood flow, because if you're sitting down, what I've learned, I'm not a doctor, but what I've learned from my doctor,
Right.
telling me, is that a lot of blood sits in your calves and it sits in your thigh.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting down, it's not getting up to the heart or to your brain.
Uh-huh.
So, and for me, I have to get up. I have to get the blood circulating. So that's what I do. I just get up and I go a walk. So in the end of the day, I'm not drawing 14 hours anymore, but I'm drawing less time, but I'm also faster at penciling, faster at inking, taking on coloring now, which I'm not as fast and efficient in it yet, but I get to, keep the vision true. Where what backers are getting is everything that came from here.
Mhm.
It's not watered down by different hands and different people. It's all coming from the creator. And of
So
course,
after this, there's going to be a Dragon Rage 2?
oh yeah, I want to build this IP where I can do this long enough. I have plans already. We're going to be doing a tabletop game. That's already in the works. I've been networking with this, and I've already made connections different places. So I'm telling people now, get in.
Mhm.
Dragon Rage is going to be big, regardless of like. I know that I get on Kings and we like to joke around, like Jimmy doesn't know anything, or
Right.
he's a geek girl, or
I find that Jimmy's a pretty smart
gesture.
guy, actually. I
You
don't
know
want to
what?
admit that too publicly too
Well,
often, but
well, I mean, I like an alpha male or somebody who is confident doesn't need to say we're confident. I don't need to fight off every. They're having fun. They're poking fun and jokes. They don't mean it in a harmful way.
yeah, yeah,
Otherwise, I mean, I wouldn't be letting that happen.
yeah.
They're good guys, but
So you
still,
don't feel like a pin cushion.
no. And when they make these jokes, I'm confident enough that I don't feel that I have to go, oh my God, no, why are you saying that? And I just go, no, my my project, my work is going to speak for itself. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
People, when my backers get it in their hands, they're going to defend me. They're going to make the noise. Like, no, Jimmy he's a sincere creator.
yeah,
He loves what he's doing, and he's making something great. And
yeah.
so that's why I just go, okay, but I'm telling people now, get in on Dragon Rage. It
Now,
is
are
going to
the
be big.
posters only in the all-in tier?
No, they were originally, before I went into in demand, they had their own. You could just buy them, and they were inexpensive. You
Uh-huh,
could get them, and shipping was really cheap. But
uh-huh.
but I was letting everybody know, hey, when I go in demand, I'm going to cut off half of the tiers. So half of the tiers, that options that people had, are all gone. The only thing
Okay.
that's left now are just the basic,
Okay, so I didn't. Okay, so
not basic,
okay.
but the core,
Yeah,
the
I
the,
saw
the,
the
the comic
core,
book
just the
itself.
books, and I
Yeah,
thought, oh, you kept it simple, but
yeah,
initially it was a little bit more complex. I got you. Yeah, because I'm kind of getting on the tail end of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've
Well,
got to get
thanks for clarifying it.
no, I've got to get running
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
but
Thank you so much, Jimmy, for finally coming on. I mean, we've
yeah, I'm
wanted you on here for
so
a long
sorry.
time.
Yeah, I mean,
That's okay. I know
I,
you're busy.
well, it was. I mean, people that don't know out there, I was at a doctor's appointment, and didn't get out in time,
Yeah.
but I really wanted to be here, and for me, honestly, I love and I care about everybody in CG. I mean, I go and I hang out in the CG slums because you know what? I mean, if you're CG, I don't care what kind of past you had in comics, or what kind of accolades you've accomplished and achieved. In CG, in my eyes, we're all equal. If
Right.
you're creating comic books, or you're just a fan of the comic books, I think we all deserve mutual respect. And so, big or small show, man. I mean, I'll really be honest. I was really, if you could have seen it, I was rushing through traffic to get here, and which I probably shouldn't have, but it was
Well,
important, and it's my way of saying thank you. I'm really
well, I
grateful
appreciate it.
you
I
had me on.
mean, we people have been wanting to, hear more from you for a while, and and yeah, I do think getting over on other channels, little cross pollination always helps anybody.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I've learned a really valuable lesson. Was I was friends with this kid who was a big Dave Finch fan, and I said, "Hey, man, you're a big Dave Finch fan. I'm working with Dave right now. Let me. You ever met him? Let me introduce you, man." And he was so excited to meet Dave Finch, and then this young man and I stayed friends, stayed talking, and we were, getting to know each other. And then boom, he's a big celebrity now, huge influence, and I was just like, wow. So you never know where people are
Yeah, I
headed.
mean,
We don't know the
you
future.
really, that just reminds me of a quick story, Jimmy, which was, I worked at a rescue mission. I've done prison ministry and other things like that in the past, and I worked at a big rescue mission, big one. And then, so the one from here in town, which is smaller, came over to visit the the main guy, right? And I'm showing him around, and it's hard not to be prideful. But I didn't burn my bridges, thankfully, because after that job ended, a couple months later, I got a job with him. But if I had been said, your mission is so small and ours is so large, and I wouldn't have gotten that job later. You never know where you're going to wind up. And
people on top aren't always on top. It shifts.
That's right.
It changes, especially when it's like fan based and
people that are in the slums are not always stay in the slums, right?
There's talent. There's huge.
Blow up.
There's huge talent. Like the other day, I was watching a live stream in Dillard. Like I was like, holy crap, his art's gotten really good. Like he's, there's talent in there. I was watching, all the different people. And
don't tell him that too many times. His head will explode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure he hears it. His work is good. I'm sure everyone's like raving about it. But yeah, there's a lot of really good projects coming out from everywhere from CG. I like Frog G with Jason doing Frog G.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait for that book. With Inkspot and all them. That is an IP right there that I think is very marketable.
Well, tomorrow we're having on Odin Driscoll and Skunk Artworks talking about Kill 'Em Dead.
Wow.
And Dillard, if you like Dillard's work, he did the cover to my comic book. Let me bring it up here real quick. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Jimmy, or not. But,
no. But I've got to get running. But
okay.
But I'd like to check it out. Maybe you can send it to me DM, or if you have it now, we can.
Just real quick.
Take a look at it.
I'll bring it here. Sorry, Jimmy.
No problem.
Just
but I mean, there's so much.
This little shout out for Dillard.
So much new upcoming talent within CG.
Oh, definitely, and Dillard's one of them there. So there's the Devil Fly prequel that'll be coming to you this month.
See,
hope you like that
composition. I love it. I love the breaking out of the page. I always love that. They did that a lot with Hulk and Wolverine, and
well, thanks again for coming on, and please say hi to Anna for me. She'll go, who? But say hi anyway.
No problem. We have dinner plans, so I'm already running late to meet her for dinner. But
blame it on me then.
Yeah, she's so sweet. She doesn't throw any fits ever. She's so great. But,
I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you, and I appreciate everybody out there who you guys watching now live or later. Yeah, definitely. And I'm gonna have more live streams on my channel. I'm starting to rebuild my channel up, so we'll have you over there as well. So.
Oh, good. I'd love to. Yeah, you and I and Dan still have to do that Conan thing, that draw thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. All righty, well, take it easy. I'll see you.
Take care. Well, there you go, Jimmy Reyes. He wasn't raising too bad, was he? Shadowhawk, sorry you had to drop out, but he had dinner, I'm sure, just like Jimmy. Abby's giving me the stink eye for the last 10-15 minutes, so it's better let her out. She'll be fine. Anyway, it's been great. Keep collecting, and we'll see you tomorrow when we have Skunk Artworks. Going prime time. If we go long enough, we will. Hey, you know me, I'll go hours and hours. Anyway, keep collecting, watching the stars, and thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Bye.